There's no time.
Lost.
The time is
13
o'clock.
Okay, what episode is it, Jenny?
Episode 183.
183 Pandemic Show.
Yeah, this is going to be a real cheerful
Yeah,
topic.
pandemic.
Well, this was like, I hadn't actually thought of doing this one, but then I don't know if it's because you said something about coronavirus, like on one of the other shows, and somebody in the YouTube comments said, oh, you should do a show about pandemics, like through history and stuff like that. And I said, you know what? That's a pretty good idea. So I actually shifted a few of the topics around so we could do it this week.
It's a macabre subject.
It is.
Some of my military training and experience can apply to surviving an apocalyptic pandemic. If it's possible.
Well,
Some people just aren't going to make it. If your health is bad, if you're of certain age groups, if it was a pandemic, a real full-blown pandemic, your ass is grass. You're fucking toast.
yeah, and we're going to get into, I mean, I kind of wanted to cover like two of the worst ones. We're going to talk about coronavirus too. We'll probably do that first.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about two of the worst ones. Obviously, the Black Death, which wasn't just one thing. It was like a series of plagues.
Yeah.
So that was happy.
It
Also,
came and went many times.
it did, yeah. There was one, the worst, like a 3-year outbreak, but it kept coming back. And I also wanted to talk about the Spanish flu of 1918, which is funny because you don't hear as much about that one as you do about the Black Death, even though it killed either the same or more people than the Black Death did. I guess because it happened right around the same time as World War I, so everyone was kind of like worrying about that. You know what I mean? So you don't really hear as much about it as you do as maybe some of the other ones. But it's pretty horrifying. I was just watching like I think it was a PBS American Experience documentary about it earlier today. And they had people that, the documentary was several years old, but they still had people that remembered it and remembered like people in their friends dying and like their moms and dads and shit like that. And there was like fucked up shit in there about like, oh, it got so bad in like some towns in the US that some people were telling like 12-year-old kids and stuff, well, get on the waiting list for a coffin.
Right.
It was fucked up. You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like people forget about it just kind of because World War I was such a big, horrible thing that happened and everyone kind of talks about that, but they said most of the people that died, I mean, the Spanish flu killed more people than I think World War I and World War II put together.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it killed a lot of people.
It did. It was millions and millions of people.
And the funny thing about it is that it didn't have a really high mortality rate. It just had a real high contagious rate. It was, you had, I think it was an 80% contagion.
Yeah, and the conditions at the time didn't help either.
Yeah.
Like particularly because of the World War I conditions, that I think that helped it
spread
and get more.
You'll see through these historical cases that we talk about, in terms of the history of this, you'll see that society's reaction to them is very different, and how bad they are was different depending on what time frame it was. Like in the Middle Ages, a pandemic wasn't interpreted to be the same thing as it would be today. And that particular disease could probably come back again, and it wouldn't affect people the same way. I think it probably wouldn't. It wouldn't spread the same way at all.
Well, I mean, the bubonic plague is still around.
Yeah.
But everybody knows what it is now.
Yeah, and I don't think it's an exact same strain of bubonic plague. They tend to kind of get more symbiotic as they evolve. I think it was a lot more lethal when it first appeared.
It was. I mean, it killed millions. What was it? 40 million people? 60 million people? Something like that.
A lot of that had to do with cold weather and a bunch of rats living underneath your house. That was the situation.
It was like filthy conditions.
Yeah.
It was super unsanitary.
And that's a situation that doesn't exist today.
Right.
You're not getting eaten
Plus,
up by
they
fleas.
didn't know what was causing it, so they didn't know how to prevent it. So they were doing like a bunch, and it's kind of sad. Like you can say, oh, medieval people, they were like dumb motherfuckers. They didn't understand like that it was a bacteria, that it was caused by a flea, and so maybe they should try to clean shit up. They didn't understand that. They just thought it was like God was punishing them for something, and so they didn't really know what to do. So they were like doing a bunch of dumb, what to us seems like dumb shit.
They saw things in religious terms.
They did.
We'll talk about that later. I'm not totally convinced that bulbous is bubonic plague. It's definitely not the same form of it.
Well, there's several different types.
Yeah,
There's bubonic plague, which is the thing that causes
Yeah.
the big, growths like in your groin and your in your armpit. Then you got your pneumonic plague, which is related, but it has different symptoms. So there's like 3 different types. Like I said, there are still strains of it around today, but it's very isolated pockets, and they generally know what causes it now. It does still kill people, but not. It doesn't wipe out like half the population of a fucking continent like it did back in the 1300s.
Yeah,
obviously.
And the housing situation and the cleanliness situation isn't around that allows that.
Right.
So it wouldn't be the same.
In some ways it's hooray for science because because I think like the problem that they had with the Black Death and why it kept like recurring and shit like that was because they didn't have any idea. They thought it was like some like stinky air.
Yeah. And this is bacteria you're talking about back then that was bothering them. The threat nowadays is viral. Mm-hmm. And a virus is a lot more sophisticated. It can just spread person to person. It doesn't need fucked up environment.
Because it's technically not a living organism, except it sort of acts
it's
like it is.
half a living organism.
Yeah.
It
That's
needs
what's
another
weird about
living
it.
organism to reproduce.
Yeah.
But they don't carry on metabolism as far as we know. They don't think that it's just a piece of RNA.
Yeah.
And it's just like an accident. Probably some of the first forms of life were something kind of like a virus, probably.
I think it probably was, yeah. Because it seems like that's kind of like the next building block because it acts sort of like a living organism, but it's technically not a living organism. It's kind of like in between. So we'll probably. I think I only have one shout out this week, and that is just like I said last week. Did I say it last week? I don't remember if I did or not. We finally got our old behind asses on Instagram.
Yeah, finally got on Instagram.
All the young people out there were like, I had a comment on there that somebody said, we were waiting for you guys. And I was like, I finally got around to it. Sorry.
Yeah, we're on there.
But, I try to post at least one thing every day. Like I said, whether it's just like a picture of Pookie or whether it's like one of our Zazzle shirts or whether it's our episode or whatever.
Jenny's under 13 o'clock podcast. I'm just Tom Ross. You'll see me. There's numbers and shit on there. There's a way where you can change it and make your own name, but every one of them I selected, it fucking rejected it. So I don't know how to do it.
Well, that's probably because it's already taken.
Yeah, but I tried different versions of it, you know what I mean?
Because I found it very easy. Mine was just Jenny_Ashford, and then I just went in there. I said, can I just change it to 13 o'clock podcast? And they were like, sure. So I did.
Maybe I could just put that 13 o'clock something or other on the back of my name somewhere.
13 o'clock podcast 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah. Electric Boogaloo. Yeah.
That's what you should call it.
Yeah.
That's like too long to type there probably. So I think that's the only, because I don't think we had any new patrons this week. So,
What? Damn.
I know. So I think that's the only shout out
we
had. If you like
the show, man, give us a like. Give us a thumbs up right now. Share.
And go follow us on our new Instagram account. I know there's not a shit ton of stuff on there yet, but it's like I'm trying to post like at least one thing every day that's entertaining in some ways. So you've been following the stuff about the coronavirus. Yeah. And since everybody's like trying to be all over YouTube talk about that, let's talk about that first, and then we'll get into the more historical stuff that I researched.
Yeah. As time's gone on, what I thought it was, more people are starting to think it's the same thing, even some people in the government. I kind of thought it was going to be something like an accidentally released bioweapon, or they were messing around with a vaccine, possibly to a bioweapon, or maybe a vaccine against SARS, or they already had corona. I think SARS was a type of corona.
Well, coronavirus is a type of virus. Is a type of virus. It's similar to SARS.
Okay, yeah.
It's related, and almost all of them come from animals. They think that probably this strain maybe came from a bat, but they're not entirely sure.
Yeah, I think now that other universities and firms have gotten their hands on this and looked at it, they say it's not a naturally occurring virus. They believe it because there's like these telltale marks that'll be in a virus to where you could see where they spliced stuff into it, and it's because we've been genetically engineering this kind of stuff for a long time now. They have companies and machines that can do this, and I think it was an Indian firm and then a university somewhere in Europe. I don't know, maybe if you dug up that information or not. They looked at it. So far, I can think of offhand 2 of them that have looked at it, and they just say it looks very suspicious. It's just kind of like a bunch of stuff. Some of the stuff came off the HIV virus. Some of it came from other places. It looks like they were trying to make a vaccine. That's what I think. Maybe it sounds plausible to me. I don't think it was a weapon. Maybe a vaccine for SARS. And it's rumored that there was, one report that I saw said that some Chinese students up in Canada got arrested for being spies and stealing a vaccine from a Canadian firm that maybe was related to this. That was just something I heard, though. The audience had to check that out for themselves if they're really interested. It looks like maybe this may be the same thing that those Chinese students stole, because the outbreak happened right around a high-level containment area where they actually work on fucking biowarfare and health. You know what I mean? A lot of times you hide your biological warfare programs inside of some kind of health clinic. And claim that you're working on vaccines. That's what we were doing. We're probably still doing it. The Soviets were doing it. You take a virus or some kind of a viral disease, and you try to make it more deadly and find a cure for it. Then it'd be kind of like fully weaponized. All that shit was highly classified, and they're not going to really admit to anything. The United States isn't going to admit to everything that they've done in that realm. Supposedly we've shut all that down, but I just can't see that as true. Some biotech, privately contracted biotech firms are probably making all kinds of weird ass shit for the government just in case. It's just in their interest to do that kind of shit. And just the timing of the outbreak is kind of strange. Think about it. China's losing its trade war. China was having problems with Hong Kong. It looked like the Hong Kong protesters were winning and getting their way. China has a large population, and it has a large... They have a generation that they call the useless generation. And it's their old people that grew up under communism. They don't have any modern skills, so they're just kind of dependent. And a lot of it's like a Chinese version of a boomer. It's that same generation. And evidently they're not really adapting too well to modern economies and the future that they want for China. And they're kind of expensive. There isn't real communism in China. The CCP doesn't work that way. It's more kind of like, the economy kind of looks more like Nazi Germany. It's more like, National Socialism, where you have a weird merger of corporation and government working together. You have government-owned corporations inside China that really run the show. So, could be that maybe the Chinese thought that this was a good time to, 1, reduce the population of old people, 2, have an excuse to crack down on people who are dissident to the government. It's plausible. Because most of China's locked down right now.
Well, yeah. But I mean... Okay, so China has had several of these types of... they had like a major flu outbreak in 2009. They have a lot of their viruses seem to be... and this one is so similar, like a coronavirus is usually... what are they? Zoonotic is what they call it when it comes from an animal, usually from pigs or bats or cattle or something like that. Usually the virus just kind of passes from animal to animal and humans can't catch it, but then there's a mutation and then it becomes transferable from human to animal. Or from animal to human. So they suspect that this is what happened because they think that the same flu that happened in 2009 and your SARS kind of stuff, this coronavirus, they've actually called it, the CDC has named it SARS-CoV-2 because it's so similar. The Chinese government actually released the genome of it, like pretty shortly after it, became clear that it was becoming a pandemic. So several other countries have like sequenced the genome.
Oh, so they did release it.
Yeah, they
Okay.
pretty much, I think, a month after the first case,
Okay.
as far as I can,
My
because
information was old, but first information was that they couldn't get it. Somebody else got it.
no, they released it.
They did release it? Okay.
They released it either early in February or late in January.
All right.
So several other countries, and the United States has also sequenced that genome, and they have compared it to the very few people that seem to have got it in the U.S. And those, I believe, as of this morning, and we're recording this on February 15th. I think there are 15 cases in the U.S., but no fatalities. And from what they've compared the genome that the Chinese government released to the genome to the disease that these people have, it seems to be the same one. And like I said, it seems to be very, very similar to SARS. So they think that it probably originated from one of the wet markets in Wuhan.
Now, did they mention any evidence of the thing being engineered at all?
No.
Because there was actually people inside the central government, the federal government here, saying that they believed that it was genetically engineered.
Not that I read. I never saw anything like that, because they said it was so similar to ones that had spread
That they
there
think it
before
looks natural.
that it just appears to be another one of those.
Okay.
Because like I said, this isn't the first time this has happened. You know what I mean? It's in their first rodeo with like these killer flu viruses.
This is the worst outbreak, though.
It is. It is the worst outbreak so far.
It's not the same. It's not the same version of Corona that they had before.
Yeah.
It's spreading fast.
Well, flus mutate. Flu
Yeah.
viruses tend to mutate very quickly.
Right. Okay.
Ironically, the more fatal they are, usually the quicker they burn out, because they kill
can't
the
spread.
people before you can spread. I know that's fucked up, but it's like, that's kind of usually what ends up happening. Is like people that get them and they die right away, like before they can fucking spread them to people. And so
Now, there's
they
a bunch of channels of doctors talking about it and looking at the numbers, and the ones that I'm looking at are saying that they believe that in some cases the person can spread this for about 24 days, be asymptomatic, showing no signs.
I have heard
But usually-
asymptomatic for 2 weeks.
But it's usually
Yeah.
usually about 7 to 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But some people can start spreading it asymptomatically within days, like 2 or 3 days after catching it.
Yeah, I've seen 2 to 14 days. They said,
Right.
so that's why they're quarantining people. If you've been to China and you're coming back to like your country of origin, they will quarantine you for 2 weeks until they see if any symptoms present themselves. So the CDC is telling everybody, like, hey, if you've been to this area of China, or actually anywhere in China, and you come back to your country of origin, don't be mad, because like you will probably be quarantined for 14 days until we see if you have like fucking...
Well, whatever it is, man-made or not, you can just look at China's reaction, and they are jumping out of their own skin.
Yeah, although I do have
taking
to
this
say,
shit very seriously.
well, their response to this, and I've seen like several kind of high-ranking like people that look into like disease, people from the CDC and stuff. They're actually like, and I'm not sure if like the Chinese government is lying about shit. Like, maybe they are, because you know how they are with the censorship and everything like that. But from what I've read, everybody seems to be like they said it's much better this time than the last flu outbreak in 2009, where like they tried to keep everything on the DL, and they were like wouldn't give you any information, and it was like this big huge clusterfuck, and they were like, hey, what's going on over there, and like they were being really cagey about it. So they said at least this time they seem to be at least like more open. Like I said, they were very, like, some people have criticized them as like, hey, you had the first case like in December of 2019. It's like, why didn't you tell us about it then? But it's like, the thing is, this is a flu, and flus are very common. So I think it takes like a little while to get to a point where, holy shit, this is a really bad flu. People are dying from it, and a lot of people are getting it, to a point where, because if you just see one dude turn up at a clinic and he has like a really bad flu and he dies from it, people might just think, well, maybe he's immunocompromised, or maybe so I can't really fault them for going a couple weeks to make sure that like this is like a bad situation. But the fact that they released the genome of the virus, they released it to the public, to everybody, like everybody in the world got it and like sequenced it or whatever. So it does seem like they're trying to kind of get back because they got really badly criticized in 2009 for the flu outbreak that happened then because they were trying to be secretive about it and like, keep everything clamped down. Yes, it seems very harsh to like shut down entire cities and shit like that, but that is a pretty good way of keeping shit from spreading farther than it did. And when we talk about the Spanish flu from 1918, even in the United States, they had the same fucking thing happen. They wouldn't let you go out of your house. Shit, I can't remember if it was in Philadelphia or Boston or somewhere like that. Like, they were making everybody wear masks, so you wouldn't spread it any further.
Talking about this shit's making me cough.
One dude wouldn't wear his mask, like, in the street. Somebody told him like, to put the mask on, and he wouldn't, so they shot him. They shot him dead, like, right in the street. So it's like, it sounds harsh and draconian, but in this situation, you really have to keep it contained. Yeah. I mean, you don't want it spreading over the whole entire fucking globe.
Yeah, and then another thing is that China's got an economy to protect too.
That's a consideration.
Yeah, I mean, all your eBay orders will be fucking canceled or delayed if they don't get that shit out.
Yeah, because I think what a lot of people,
forget that they make all of our trinkets.
And it's something that you don't really think about because you just think, oh, it's a flu outbreak and stuff like that. But it has like a huge like ripple effect on the economy and stuff like that because it's like there's thousands and thousands of people in just one city that can't go to work, that can't produce things,
You'll find out later on in the show, and I imagine everybody probably knows this by now. It's not so much the disease that's the killer. It's the effects of the disease.
Yeah.
Because it starts shutting down the society. And things aren't delivered to the stores. And then there's panic and chaos. A lot of stuff happens. People stop going to work.
Yeah.
That's the real danger.
It really does make a huge... Because and really,
you got to stay home to stay alive.
Yeah.
Or to stay healthy. And everybody's doing it. Well, guess what? Your lights go out. Yeah. Okay, your lights go out. Well, the dude up the street, he's run out of food already. Right? So he says, I'm going to go get some food. Pulls out a gun. Here in the United States, gets a gun or machete, something like that. And kills a neighbor to get some food, to feed his children. And that's how extreme it can get.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. And I feel like that kind of shit, it's like you saw this more, it wasn't quite as bad, at least not in the United States, in the Spanish flu epidemic. Most people were pretty willing to like comply with, and they tried to stay home, but whole towns would like fucking shut down. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It would be like Katrina, I think. In a lot of places, and I helped in the Katrina thing. I was in Baton Rouge at the time. I was working with the state police, and we supported the cops while they were trying to maintain, at least put on a public show of that they were trying to control that city. That city fucking blew up. There are people missing to this day, and there's stuff that people will never know about that happened down there.
Yeah, and that's going to happen anytime you have your infrastructure.
It was Mad Max for about
starting
a month.
To crumble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's funny because you don't really think about the impact of, particularly when we talk about the Black Death, it's like the impact of half the population of Europe, just Europe, dying.
Yeah.
And it's weird because that actually had some positive effects later on.
That ended serfdom.
It did.
It ended serfdom.
That's what I was going to say.
And slavery among Europeans.
Which, that's a silver lining. Yeah. It's terrible that everybody died in like such horrible conditions.
It was the end of the Dark Ages.
It was.
Yeah.
It had to be because there came a point where so many people had died that like the wealthy people didn't have like all these like...
They didn't have all these peons.
Peons that they could work on their land and shit like that, and they were sitting there going, "Oh,
you had to pay somebody."
Dead, right?" So it's like, and the peasants, quote unquote, realized that, and were like, "Hey, fuck you, pay me."
That's right.
I'm not working for you for nothing.
Right.
It's like they know there's not enough people around. There was like a labor shortage.
Yeah, and the peasants could pick up and just move to another kingdom where they could get paid, and your kingdom would wither.
Because there was all kind of land and houses free, and all this.
So there is
so many people were dead.
To it. There are a lot of benefits.
It's like, that's terrible, but
a lot of benefits to rapid population decline or population reduction. There's a lot of advantages to it for the survivors.
You could argue.
You could argue that if somebody ever lets out a pandemic, that's why they're doing it, because.
I've seen a movie like that.
Yeah, because they've planned a post-apocalyptic world in which they will be more wealthy and freer and more powerful than they were. And it's plausible that, I mean, it's almost kind of like was it Charles Manson tried to do something kind of like that. He thought he could survive a race war, that he could cause a race war and then survive it.
Yeah, how'd that work out?
It wouldn't work out that way, though. He didn't really have the survivor's skill set, but...
Well, he didn't have a lot of things.
No.
Sanity among those things.
He thought he could just hide and be all right.
But yeah, so that was one thing that I guess it had sort of occurred to me, but I was watching a documentary about the Black Death earlier, and they said, yeah, that actually, you could argue that the Black Death was one of the main, kind of impetuses, is that a word? Behind the Renaissance.
Yeah.
Because that kind of like caused this new like blossoming of it, because people were more mobile. It's like people actually got paid for their work. Yeah. Like people could actually live and they had leisure time and shit like that. Not to the extent it's today, but better than before. Like you said, it pretty much got rid of the whole serfdom system because it just wasn't sustainable anymore because so many people were fucking dead.
That's kind of why it makes you wonder, China might come out better after this. Maybe they did let something like this go, but...
I don't know. I always feel like, I'm not saying that some shit isn't like a conspiracy or some shit isn't done on purpose, because some shit is, but...
Everything's a conspiracy.
It's not, though. Stuff like that, it's because I
depends on how you look. What is a conspiracy?
Well, I guess because I'm really interested in, like evolutionary biology and stuff like that, so I understand how much accidents play into... But
accidents can be part of your plan. Like guys like me, we everything's all right. You see this accident, and then you make a plan around that accident.
Right, but that's still, that's just
then
you.
That's my
like
conspiracy. You're talking about I've made my own conspiracy, me and some other, what I mean? So it all depends on how you want to define it. So, for instance, like out of that movie, Dr. Strangelove, they accidentally caused the nuclear war, but when they realized that they couldn't stop it. They were like, oh, but you know what? We can come out pretty good by letting
that's
this happen.
just taking advantage of... That's not a conspiracy in the sense that you just planned all of this elaborate
But the thing is that all of a sudden, if you're outside of that group, all of a sudden you're like, man, they're using this to their advantage. Maybe they did this. There's a conspiracy going on. They're all going to go down in that damn hole with all them hot women for 50 years and then come up. That's what they're talking about.
I think in general, that's what, like I said, there are smaller conspiracies, but like I know some people believe in these big like world spanning like conspiracies, and I just can't get into that because I'm like,
it's hard to get everybody to agree.
It's kind of hard to get everybody to like on the same page, and it's hard to not have people blab. It's like everybody is an individual. You can't get two people to agree on what to put on a fucking pizza, much less how to run the fucking world. There
are powerful oligarchs and very powerful.
Yeah, I'm not saying that, but it's limited. It's
corporations,
limited,
and they have their own lifestyles.
And even they can't control everything because
they're more like skimming off of it and running off it. But I think they do kind of. There is some evidence that they do try to manage the situation.
They do,
like stopping the emergence of disruptive technologies. Like they'll see a technology start to emerge, and they're like, that'd cost us our empire. Well, buy that company, and then they shut that company.
And that has demonstrably happened.
Yeah,
I mean, look at like shit about what was the thing about where they didn't want to didn't like the fucking streetcar companies like try to fuck with the car companies like bought out the streetcar companies
for hundreds of years.
Yeah, it goes on like that, but like those are like smaller conspiracies, and that's just kind of something where I think most events that happen are contingent on other events, so I don't think that any one person or any small group of people can like control any of it. Yes, you can watch for shit like that to happen and like take advantage of that.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's not, when I think of a conspiracy, I think of like some like specter, and they're just like in a room and there's like, we just like thought of every little detail and we're controlling everything. I don't think that goes on because there's too many things, there's too many factors that are out of human control.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you got on the subject of Spectre. That's James Bond.
I know.
They weren't really controlling everything, though. They were just a mafia that had its tentacles into everybody, and they were just
That was just the first, like,
they were just causing things to
shadowy
happen
group that
so
I
they
thought
could
of.
make money off of it. You know what I mean? That was
Yeah,
more of a,
which, I know, like,
that shit does exist.
Yeah, they do that.
Yeah.
They do that. I'm just saying that, like, I think a lot of times, like, shit that happens, and people are like, oh, it's this big, like, it's this one big group, like the Illuminati or whatever, and they just do everything.
It's going to look more like organized crime.
Yeah, it's more like that.
Yeah.
I believe in those kind of conspiracies,
that exists.
sure.
Right.
But, you know, I don't believe in this, like, oh, everything that happens,
Organized crime between rich, powerful families.
Yeah, everything that happens is not because of human agency. Because humans are, in the grand scheme of the universe, humans are kind of pitiful. Yeah. So it's like, I kind of feel like there's too many factors that are just out of our control. You know what I mean? So I feel like you can't, like, build these big elaborate conspiracies where everything is going to go like exactly the way you want it to go, because nothing ever does.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying, too many contingencies. So in that sense, it's like, I don't know, you know, I'm not saying it's impossible that China like released a disease or something like that, but I just feel like it's more, I go with likelihood. It's much more likely because this has happened many times before.
I come from a world where I was living in an army that was run by generals that had armies of killers who would come up with these fucking plans to wipe motherfuckers out, and then you start doing it. You know what I mean? That's not a conspiracy.
No, but...
All right? But if you were, say, in control of a large company or a large country, and you said, you know, I have the power to do whatever I want because I control all the agencies. If I were to release this thing that we have, a bunch of people would die, would justify a crackdown, it would help me win this trade war. It would be kind of like a stealth way of getting it done.
Yeah.
It would be in his advantage. Now, do I have proof that he did that? No.
Yeah,
it looks like maybe he didn't, but then it looks like maybe he did. It's either way.
I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying that because of the way it looks and because this type of thing has happened in this almost exact way so many times before, it seems unlikely. That's all I'm saying.
Or it could have happened a bunch of times and they saw it and they said, you know, that's in our fucking bioweapons playbook.
True,
because they have bioweapons, but
it's like the thing about it is that you could speculate about that all day long, but you will never know.
But here's the thing:
you'll never know.
We talked about this on other shows. Okay, I talked about this on the MK Ultra show, which that was something that really did happen, and that was what was called the Warren Commission, where they were turning the fucking.
Yeah, the Warren Commission was the JFK.
That was the JFK. Okay, what was the one where they turned the intelligence agencies upside down for a while?
Oh shit!
Looking for shit, and that's how MK Ultra came to light, and some of the other weird shit they were doing in Canada with the damn psych hospitals.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah,
mind control.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that people don't do that kind of shit. I'm just saying it's usually like fairly small scale.
Right.
Fairly.
Okay.
I don't, you know, it's like these big supervillain type of schemes. That's hard to pull off. You know what I mean? Small scale.
Yeah. But like, I come from a background where we would pull off big things like fuck up a country, kill millions of its people, and steal a bunch of gold. It's also known as Iraq. You know, and then give it to the rich guys that told us to do it. All right, that's pretty fucking big.
That did work out.
There's a lot of training manuals for a lot of these kind of units. You know, it's not like just some dude thinks of it. He read about it because spies from fucking 50 years ago said, you know, you could get a disease. Here's the thing.
Hey, do this type of thing.
Here's the thing. This virus, right, is now like a free source bioweapon. If you get somebody, all right, who's sick, you could take it from them and give it to other people and send them to any country that you want to that are your enemies and launch a bio attack on them now.
You could,
So if I was a terrorist right now, I'd be trying to look down, I'd be tracking down sick motherfuckers.
Seems easier to build a bomb, just saying.
Yeah, but okay, and I talked about this in that other thing, that the most effective weapons are bombs. All right. Best thing out there is a nuclear weapon. But if you use nuclear weapons on your enemies, they will know that you did it.
Yeah.
And you'll pay for it.
But if it's beauty of a
bioweapon is that it's deniable.
Yeah.
I didn't do it.
Somebody just wandered into your country.
How can you prove it?
Come on.
Right.
That's true. Plausible deniability.
Plausible deniability.
Shit, man, they've been doing like that kind of shit like way back, even before the Middle Ages, probably.
Yeah.
Weren't they like taking plague-ridden bodies and like throwing them up there in fucking catapults and shit like that?
Yeah.
They knew how to do that
shit. For me,
it's fucked up.
my Machiavellian.
Humans are the worst.
I'm kind of Machiavellian, and I'm going to say that there are guys that are even smarter and more evil than me who would probably figure out a way to use this. And
oh yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know.
And I'm just going to. You're not going to be able to prove it. That's the nature of warfare. That's why biowarfare existed, because you could deny it.
Yeah.
All right. And this is a pretty good weapon because it's human to human. Traditionally, they were usually using shit that involved vectors, which is like mosquitoes that would carry it and things. But there's been a lot of problems with bioweapons, at least the ones that we know of. You know, the only real good one they had was anthrax, and you can't use it. It's not deniable. People know what anthrax is. Yeah, because
everybody's like, hey.
Yeah, that's anthrax.
Knock that shit off.
Yeah.
Although they never did catch that person that did those anthrax attacks, did they? In 2001 or 2002, whatever it was.
No, but it's an obvious bioweapon.
It is, yeah. It was like, yep, that's anthrax.
Yeah, spores, mold spores.
I don't know. It's kind of like, I feel like, yeah, they're like...
Yeah. It could have been done on purpose.
Sure.
But you'll never know.
But like I said, I always go with the more likely option. And the more likely option
is that it came out on one of those markets.
That it's just another one. Because that's like another one. They've had like several of those, even in the past like 20 years, that have come out of those. And they think that this one, because it's so similar to SARS, they said it probably came from bats.
It spreads,
because that's where SARS comes from.
It spreads quickly. So far as we know, the lethality might be around 5%. That's the last I heard. But other people can count it different ways. All right. The people who get it so bad that they have to be hospitalized, the amount of them that die is actually about 15%. So if you go into a hospital, if you get it so bad that you have to go into a hospital, there's about a 15% chance you'll die. Some predict that it will probably end up being a little bit higher as more of them die. Probably more closer to 20. So if your ass gets it so bad that you have to go to a hospital, you got probably about a 20% chance of dying.
Yeah.
Although most people evidently don't go to the hospital.
Yeah. Well,
some people don't even know that they
have it.
In
some ways, they're saying that, and this happens in a lot of pandemics, they're like, look, sometimes, and this happened in the Spanish flu as well in 1918, they said if you have symptoms, sometimes it's better to not go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Because it's like, just stay in your house. Because if you go out and go in the hospital, you'll just get more of it and you'll infect other people that maybe weren't infected. So maybe it's better not to go to the hospital unless you're like really, really, really bad.
There's no cure for it. They're just going to give you Tylenol.
Or Tamiflu or whatever.
And if you're real old and start getting real sick, they're just going to pump a bunch of oxygen into your lungs.
Yeah.
And try to keep your
Now,
your
much like other flu outbreaks, it seems like most of the fatalities for this, from what I saw from CDC this morning, they said from between 75 to 80% of the fatalities have been people over 60. 75% of them have had other health issues, usually high blood pressure, respiratory issues, diabetes. That's like a big one too.
If you're a smoker or an ex-smoker, you're at risk.
So this seems to be in line, like unlike Spanish flu, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Unlike, like most other flu viruses, this is attacking people who are already older, who are already immunocompromised, already have other health problems. It seems to be. Now, as of today, like I said, it's February 15th when we're recording this. The CDC is not recommending that the U.S. freak out or anything. They said we have 15 confirmed cases. None of them have died. So they're like, it is not spreading here. So just, be aware of what's going on, but don't flip out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's really not. But it could spread, obviously. But
China's a little bit different situation. They're high population density.
Yeah.
They don't shower as much as Westerners do. They don't wash their hands as much. Some people are like, what are you talking about? They're a modern country. Go online and go look at these damn wet markets and go look at just how kind of like your average poor people live there.
Well, there's a reason why a lot of why a lot of these types of viruses originate from wet markets, because these are, they have these dead animals just kind of hanging there, and they're touching them, and they're touching other types of animals, and shit like that. So
there's a channel called Serpent ZA, and it's from a South African guy that married a Chinese woman. He lived in China for a long time. He doesn't live there anymore, but he made a whole bunch of videos on SARS and why it spreads. The Chinese will hock up loogies a lot, and they'll spit on a damn floor. They'll spit on the carpet in a restaurant, and because they think that's healthy. You know what I mean? They're clearing out their lungs. That's all macho. And this is that worthless generation I was telling you about that the China's trying to get rid of. This is their boomers.
More proof that old people are the worst.
They're boomers.
Sorry, old people. I'm old too.
Yeah, evidently they're X-Gen and millennial, and their version of like Zoomers, they're not like that. They think that shit's ridiculous.
Because it's fucking gross. That's why.
But a Chinese boomer will go into fucking Starbucks and get a fucking cup and empty all the fucking, pour a bunch of creamer in there and pour sugar in there and put some ice in it and sit there and drink it because it's free. It belongs to the people. That kind of shit. Then they'll go into the bathroom and steal all the fucking toilet paper because it's free. It belongs to the people.
I've heard of some poor ass people.
They're like that.
But I can't blame people for
they're like that. But no, it's just like the norm,
Yeah.
For,
what's funny
generation.
when you mentioned that, I actually found a picture from the Spanish flu epidemic in 1918, and it was from some work site in the U.S. somewhere. I don't remember what city it was in. Maybe it was Boston. And it was like a big, huge sign, and it was saying like Spanish flu, and it's like, contagious. And then at the bottom, it really big, it said, "Don't spit."
Yeah.
So I guess like old people like spitting. That's a thing.
Yeah.
That was a thing that a lot of people did back then. You just like spit in the fucking street.
Well, the Chinese boomers are way into that. They'll walk
Dudes
around.
Dudes are so gross, man.
Walk around with their shirts pulled up around and what's their belly hanging out, and they walk around like that, like a man does. They're just like all belly, trying to let the heat escape.
Letting the heat escape.
Yeah, they believe that they're letting the heat escape.
You're just gonna go around and like fart and scratch your ass.
Yeah. Serpent ZA, he taught me all about, Chinese
blow snot rocket,
Chinese styling, Chinese boomer bling, and just the way they do things. Fucking men walking around with the damn handbags and flip flops, belly sticking out.
I've seen that here though at Walmart.
Yeah, just a bag of money.
What is like a? It's like a what do they
super
call
macho.
those things? It's super macho.
Super
like
macho,
walking around with like a what do they call those things that they used to like strap around you fucking
like a fanny pack.
Like a fanny pack. There you go. I was thinking bum bag, but that's what they call them in the UK.
That's some British shit though.
You can tell I lived in the UK for a while. I couldn't even remember the American name for that. So
now Serpent ZA, and this is kind of backed up by some witnesses on the ground and people that are in the hospitals, in the Chinese hospitals. They don't have enough test kits.
Yeah.
A test kit is pretty expensive.
They're going to run out of shit.
And then the test kits that they have are not very accurate. Okay? So if you go to the hospital thinking that you have SARS, they won't even give you a test. So they don't know how many people have it or not. They don't. They just go, you're not that bad, go back home. Serpent thought that he looked at all the Chinese numbers and he said, just put a 0 at the end of every one of those figures. It's probably 10 times.
Well, you always have to assume that it's more because some people
saying.
Might not go get medical attention.
And he said that if 1,000 people have died, it's probably more like 10,000. Because some people are dying.
A lot of people have died in China.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah, in China, right. So I think how many's died in China?
I don't remember what
it was. It was 1,000, right?
It was a lot more than that, actually. As far as I know, I can't really remember. You'd have to check the CDC.
Serpent was saying you could probably put a 0 at the end of the death toll, because his contacts in China said that people were dying. That they pretty much knew that was SARS, that was Corona. Right?
Yeah, or COVID-19 as they're calling it.
They know that that's COVID-19, but they can't prove it, so they just say, well, it was a seasonal flu. It wasn't the COVID flu. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they do make a distinction between...
Yeah, but they're making that distinction by pulling the distinction out of the ass.
Yeah.
They're just looking at a dead guy and going, well, we can't prove it, so he died of a stomach ache. They're doing a lot of that shit to keep the death toll numbers down.
Although I have to tell you that when I looked at the CDC site this morning, and I can't remember the number offhand, but the death toll was quite high. So they are reporting fairly high numbers.
It's higher than that.
And it probably is.
It's
And
higher
like
than
I
that.
said, it's kind of hard to keep track of, especially in the early days of a pandemic, because one, some people might just get like a little bit of sniffle and not go get medical attention, so they don't like keep track of them. Some people might stay home and they die of shit. They don't count that person. And it's like, and they might be like, kind of keeping the number on the down low too, but
They're underreporting.
it does seem like they have reported a lot of deaths though. And
Yeah.
like I said, they seem more open this time than they did in the last flu epidemic, which is good, but
Serpent ZA lived there, knows
you
the
still
culture.
don't know.
He's got friends there. He said put a 0 on the end of every number they tell you.
Yeah, and that might be true.
It's about 10 times, but because
That might be true.
Because the Chinese have first of all, they're going to want to save face. All right, all the little people in charge of these little counties are going to want to underreport so they don't get in trouble. So when a person dies, they go, "Yeah, he didn't die of COVID though. He died of a fever." They're going to say some shit like that to make the death toll in each one of these little areas, little zones, because they have all these CCP party managers in there. So they're going to be competing to who has the smallest death number. The death toll. They don't want to show up in the data because a superior above them in the CCP will punish them.
Although
so they're underreporting.
I've actually heard that like there's been like a lot of some officials and like some doctors and stuff like that are like breaking from the shit and are like going out there and reporting real numbers.
One of them that they did.
And they're getting like kind of,
One of them, they put his ass in prison and he died of the fucking COVID.
He did, yeah, he got the disease.
And he was 30.
Yeah.
So, they're going to downplay it.
Yeah. Although, like I said, I was alarmed actually by the number of deaths that they were reporting. And if it's more than that, there have been some other cases in other countries, but as far as I know, like not anything to get like super freaked out about. But they have reported an actual very high number of fatalities in China.
Yeah. And whatever they're reporting, it's higher.
And like I said, it's
Whatever
generally older people.
Higher.
It's generally older people, and it's generally people that already had other health issues. But, it's probably higher than that, I would assume.
Serpent ZA said 10 times. It says that's the magnitude of lying the CCP does. They said that would be typical.
But like I said, in a way, even though it seems draconian, the fact that they're like not letting people leave cities and not letting people, they're shutting down like whole cities pretty much. If that's good though. They should do that because that's a way to keep it from fucking spreading to everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
As soon as the Chinese figured out what it was, and like you said, it took them a couple of weeks, they jumped out of their own assholes. Have you ever seen a man jump out of their own asshole? You got to jump awful high and awful fast.
They've been through this before. They had fucking SARS, and that was only like 10 years ago.
Their reaction was not one of just, it's just a flu. They reacted like it was a damn biological attack. And good thing.
It is a good thing.
Yeah, good thing. But I think I'm guarantee you what Serpent is saying, that the death toll is 10 times of what they're admitting to. He's going to be correct.
Well, yeah, I don't doubt
10 times that.
I don't doubt that it's probably a lot more people than they're saying. But like I said, if they have to like shut down whole cities, it sucks to the people that live there that probably aren't sick and everything like that. But it's like, how else are you going to keep it from spreading to everybody else? I mean, particularly nowadays, maybe back in the Middle Ages, look at the Middle Ages. They didn't even most people didn't even travel fucking 10 miles from where they were born. But look at nowadays, you can be anywhere in the world in a few hours, and diseases can spread that quickly. So you really have to be on that shit.
I don't think they'll stop it. I think that it's out of containment, and it's going to be kind of like the Black Death, to where it'll burn and smolder in an area, and then seemingly go out, and then a few months later, it comes back in another area, and then it burns and smolders and goes out. And then it spreads. It's going to be something like that.
It's going
to be persistent.
Well, because, flus have been kind of like that throughout history.
Yep.
It's yes, there's the seasonal flu. Most people get some kind of flu every year. but they're kind of minor. But every few years, you get this one that's kind of like really, really contagious, really, really virulent, and a lot of people get it, and a lot of people die from it. And it seems like I said, the last major one, probably 2009, that was like a big, kind of pandemic, particularly in Asia. And so it seems like this is another one that's happening. I don't like...
My gut feeling is that it's going to be out there working its magic for about 5 years.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
That's what I think it'll be.
I know everyone's... I know I seem like I'm not freaking out about it, but it's kind of like... Here's the thing. I have anxiety issues as it is, but I have decided in my old age that I'm only going to worry about shit that I can control. And I can't control this. It's like if I get it and I die, it's unlikely. And also I try to only worry about things in proportion to the likelihood that they will happen to me. You know what I mean? And I feel like this is probably, it's very unlikely that I will get it. If I get it, that sucks.
I think eventually it's likely that we will get it, but I think it's unlikely that it will kill you.
I don't think it'll kill me.
I think by the time it gets here inside the United States and infects enough people for it to finally spread here to Florida, it would have mutated a little bit, and it's probably not going to be that severe. By the time
that's
it gets
what I
here,
mean.
it'll probably get a little more mild.
Natural selection favors a more
something that's
mild
more
one
milder.
because they don't want to kill the hosts, right? So it favors a more mild strain.
You probably get it, and it just feels like any other flu you've ever had.
That's what I mean. And generally, I know I should get a flu shot every year. I don't think I've ever got one because I don't ever get the flu. So I never bothered with it. I don't hardly ever get colds. Every now and then I get one, but not very often. Like some people get them every year. I don't get them every year. I don't get much of anything sick.
Another thing is race is a factor. You have a virus that's really working over the Chinese right now. But their genome is uniquely Chinese. They're very homogeneous. You can identify a Chinese person by their genetic material very easily. Just because it's working them over real well doesn't mean it works over other races of people to that same extent.
Well, how it interacts with other people's genomes.
Yeah.
You don't really know. It could be worse.
Could be
better. Could be worse.
It might be better.
But you don't know. You don't know.
That's
what I mean. It's you don't know, so it's like there's no point worrying about it.
People of kind of like European and African type ancestry have been through a lot of fucking plagues. They're in a kind of.
We're so sick of this.
We're in the center of all the continents, a lot of land masses, So maybe we've adapted to fucking, to fight off new stuff.
Well, and having
a little bit better.
Yeah, like having so many.
They were kind of closed off for a long time too.
Yeah, I mean, being isolated in the long term, that's bad. In the short term, it's probably better. Because you don't get like one particular one that comes about in your lifetime.
Yeah, but then you like the American Indians.
Right, but yeah, over the long term, you're going to get fucked because it's like, yeah, exactly, like the Native Americans, it's like, these Europeans show up and like all of a sudden they have all these fucking diseases that you don't have any immunity to because none of them had ever come there before.
Yeah, a lot of that Indian genocide stuff that you hear, not really.
I mean, they did kill a lot of them, but it's like a lot of them.
Before the white man ever got here. It started when the fucking Spanish went to Mexico. They fucking brought that down.
So they still kind of killed them, just not on purpose.
By the time the British colonists came here, even Squanto himself said that everybody was wiped out.
Yeah, they were all dead.
They
didn't have any immunity to smallpox. They didn't have any immunity to lots and lots of different diseases.
Yeah, the smallpox got in there.
Because they'd never
ravaged North America.
Although we gave them syphilis, so fair play.
Yeah. No, they gave us syphilis.
I thought it went the other way around, actually. I think it went the other way around.
That's a good one to get, though.
That's a good one to get.
Yeah, because you're like, at least it's a pleasant experience.
While you're getting it. If not while you're like fucking suffering through it.
Is some nasty shit, man. Nasty. Have you seen photographs of people before they
People don't really, do people die of it nowadays?
No, people forgot.
They used to, though, back in the day.
People forgot what syphilis did to you.
Yeah,
I saw photographs.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I saw a photograph of a kid who was born by a syphilitic mother. Looked just like Eddie off of Iron Maiden. There's photographs of that kid. Looks like a living corpse, no face, exactly like Eddie Maiden or
Eddie from Iron Maiden.
Eddie from Iron Maiden on the album, on the Iron Maiden album covers, like
Yeah,
off the Killers album.
I think people forget, people forget that used to kill a lot of people.
That virus would fuck you up.
Yeah, it doesn't really do it anymore. That's what I mean, and this is why I kind of get annoyed by. Sorry if anyone's an anti-vaxxer out there, but I really, really get annoyed by anti-vaxxers because it's like you guys obviously never lived through people that had like fucking polio or that like died of fucking.
I'm gonna speak up because she's talking about religious anti-vaxxers is what she's talking about.
There's other types of anti-vaxxers too.
But there's also
it's not just religious
evidence
reasons.
that companies have made bad vaccines.
Right, but I would rather take
about.
my chance with a vaccine than get fucking polio or measles or whooping cough or anything like that.
That's fine, but people have died from vaccines, and there are bad vaccines out there.
There are, but like I said, here's the thing, though. You have to weigh everything is a risk in life. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I feel like the risk of the vaccine is minuscule compared to the risk of the disease you will get if you do not get vaccinated.
I think in generalize it.
It
depends on the vaccine. For instance, like at the VA, they keep trying to get, do you want the flu vaccine? And I was like, no, I can handle flu. And here's the deal.
It's good to get it when you're older, when you're over 65.
This is what I'm thinking. Okay, well, maybe when I get 80,
or
I'll take that shit.
Or if you're immunocompromised, you need to get it.
Because the doctors never gave me a sufficient answer with that flu vaccine. Okay, I'm looking at this like flu isn't deadly. You know, they're like, no,
it is for some people.
But they told me no, flu isn't deadly. Okay,
not for you.
Yeah,
probably
flu isn't deadly. And I said, what about the quality of that vaccine? What else is in there? Why did the U.S. government buy that vaccine? And they couldn't answer any of that.
Maybe they just thought it was a weird question.
maybe there's something in there that was designed by some company to kill me later so the VA could save money.
Now you're thinking too much about it.
I'm thinking like a man. Because if I had to pay for all these motherfuckers up in the hospital, I said, what could I give them to knock them out 5-6 years early? That would save me $20 billion.
I think you're thinking too much about it. Like I said, I don't get a flu vaccine because I don't usually get the flu. But if I was over, they really recommend it for people that are immunocompromised or people that are over 65 because those are the people that will usually die from the flu. So some people like to get them every year because they just don't want to get the flu, which is fine. I don't usually get the flu, so I don't bother with it. But if I was like older, I would probably get one every year just in case.
Because,
I don't want to give other people fucking disease either because I'm fucking conscientious like that.
My rationale behind it is, what else is in that vaccine? Is that a delivery system for something else? You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it.
Well, you have a weird thing where you think everyone's out to get you.
Yeah, it's not an illusion.
No one's out to get you.
Okay.
No one's out to get you.
You go ahead and think that. No
one's out to get you.
It would be okay.
I understand that I am such an insignificant person in the world.
No. I'm just thinking of the money. If
no one gives a shit about my ass, come on. It's like nobody wants it. Nobody will like engineer shit.
The VA pays me to stay alive. Okay? They do. So I'm thinking, because, they pay me. So I'm thinking that if they could increase my mortality, they would save money.
I really don't think they're doing that.
Well, it's not just a me, but there's millions of me. You know what I'm talking about? There's lots of guys like me. Don't. So they're looking at it. They're looking at it at a big chunk of change sitting there. Now I don't know who controls the VA. This might be some fucking 25-year-old dude with hot tubs and a bunch of fucking hot chicks, and he's trying to buy another damn mansion. He doesn't give a shit about my old ass. You know what I mean? He's got a harem to support. You know what I mean? Because that's what I'm thinking. This is how I think.
I'm really not.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
You're being very silly right now.
I'm not being silly. No, I'm just thinking. Because Okay.
You're worried too much about it. You're
I'm
worried.
not worried about it. I didn't take it.
You're worrying too much.
I didn't take it.
I probably wouldn't have, but like I said, it's just because I don't get the flu, and
I was like,
so.
nah, I don't want a flu. I don't want a flu shot.
Once I get old, I'll probably get one, just because I don't want to die from that shit. Holy crap!
You don't want the flu shot?
I want to die from something epic.
You're like, you don't want the flu shot, and I'm like, what? You want me to take the flu shot? And they're like, well, it's on you. And I said, but do you want me to take the flu shot? No, it's your choice.
And they were probably like, Jesus Christ,
just
get out of here.
Why do they want me to take this flu shot? You know what I mean?
They give it to everybody. Shit, man. They even give them, like, you can go to fucking CVS and get one for $10.
Yeah, well, I'm tactical, bro.
If you really, like, want to. Like
I
said.
deal with the flu.
Well, I can too. Like I said, I don't usually get it, so I don't worry about it. But if I was older or if I had some disease that would like make me more susceptible to it, I would absolutely get it. Right. Because it's like I've gotten every vaccination I was supposed to get, and my entire life I have almost never gotten sick. I have never gotten a cold or a flu bad enough to like have to stay in bed ever.
Yeah, well, I'm of the mindset to try to take as little medicine as possible. Really.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
But like I said,
vaccines. I mean, I would take a vaccine for some deadly shit. You know what I mean? Especially if I knew the vaccine was of good quality. But the thing about vaccines, particularly... If I knew that it was of good quality, you know what I mean? And that it really worked. But shit, you know, my stepdad, he died from all the vaccines they gave him in
You can't prove that.
They paid him.
You can't prove that.
I think they did, because when he was in processing into the Marine Corps as a young man, it was statistically his batch of fucking Marines died from Lou Gehrig's. And they think it was because when they were coming in through processing, they gave them like 20 fucking vaccines all in about 10 minutes.
Although it might have been that, or it might have been like a million other things.
It was like something in their service that gave them Lou Gehrig's
Yeah, but like
disease.
I said, it could have been a million other things too. Like if you can't prove
His understanding was it was vaccines.
Right, but like I said,
yeah,
anecdotes are not data.
Okay.
So I'm just saying,
Miss Smarty Pants.
No, I'm just saying it's like, what's the likelihood? I'm thinking like the likelihood of getting like a regular vaccine, like that you give to a kid, like an MMR. You know, what's the chance of that going wrong, or what's the chance like getting like measles or rubella or something like that, which is a disease that was pretty much wiped out and not anymore because of all the anti-vaxxers because they're fucking.
Now, what would you think? What would you think about going through a line, all right, and getting 20 vaccines all in about 5 minutes? Would you do that?
Yeah.
They were doing it, but I think that had long-term fucking health
I'm
effects.
a statistical thinker.
That's gotta be
bad. If bad shit happens to me individually, that sucks for me. But it's like statistically, I'm nobody. I'm like, you know what I mean? So that doesn't matter to me as much. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we got to get back to pandemics. They're probably loving this shit.
They probably are. I'm just saying, it's like, to me, it just seems like it's a risk assessment. It's a risk assessment.
On 13 o'clock, you're going to get both sides of the fucking coin. We don't agree on everything all the time.
Yeah.
But that's just the way it is. I see where she's coming from.
Yeah, it's a risk assessment.
I see where she's coming from.
I worry about things in proportion to how likely it is to happen to me. And
another thing
about vaccines too is that you're not only worrying about yourself, you have to worry about herd immunity as well. The less people get vaccinated, the more diseases that we thought were eradicated, at least in the United States, are going to creep their way back into the population, which means that I might get that shit. Even though, like, I might get polio because your stupid kid didn't get fucking vaccinated. And that makes me angry.
You're seeing vaccines in a world of honest and good people that want to help you. All right. I'm seeing vaccines in a corrupt world of people that want to get rid of you. So I kind of think that there's a possibility that, yes, that vaccine works. It is a vaccine against that. But inside that vaccine, they've also added some other stuff that would give you cancer on purpose. Or something that would, maybe it's a vaccine, an experimental vaccine is inside that that might try to combat, like, say, HIV. But that experimental vaccine might be a bad one, and it will kill you 20 years from now.
Well, here's the thing, though.
They're going to fuck with you. That's how they are.
Here's the thing, though. Like, okay. Now,
I don't trust authority.
I know that no, I don't either. But here's the thing. I know that you like to say that I think that, like, oh, humans are good and shit like that. Now, I don't necessarily. I think humans are the worst, but I generally think that most people will either be good or neutral because it's too much trouble to be bad.
They used to sell this shit back in the fucking days, okay? I think it was in the early 1900s. It was a damn radioactive fucking cure-all. You would drink this fucking radium.
Yeah, I know.
Shit was highly radioactive.
They didn't know.
Right? Yeah, but they believed that shit was good for you.
I know.
There's a photograph of a dude, his entire bottom jaw is gone from drinking that shit. Okay?
I've seen all that
shit.
shit.
I don't trust, I don't really
but
trust
sometimes,
them.
here's the thing, though. You can't, and I can't remember offhand, like, what the
You're
exact...
going to say, well, that's quackery, and this
No.
is science.
That's not
what you're going to say.
No, that's not what I was going to say.
Okay.
I was going to say there's a quote about this, and I can't remember, like, what it was, like, word for word. But it's like, you can't blame malice when stupidity is the more likely option. Yeah. And I just kind of feel like most of the shit that, like,
they do is stupid.
Like,
Okay, well,
just because they didn't know any better.
Right. Well, okay.
No one was, like, maliciously...
Inside some of them vaccines, those motherfuckers might have fucked some shit up by accident.
Right, but
There's
I can't...
all kinds of things.
But I can't worry about that. Because the
Right.
thing is, it's like, I have enough things to worry about.
Okay.
And it's like, I can't control that. And like I said, everything
but
to
I
me...
I don't want you to
Everything to me is a risk assessment.
But I don't want you to give the show a bad name like you're painting all anti-vaxxers under the damn same paintbrush. There's a couple different reasons why you should be skeptical. I don't think for religious reasons is one of them. I like these people that won't get...
Well, if you
that's
have...
not really a
I'm sorry,
reason.
if you have a religious reason and that's the only reason they have, then you don't have a reason.
Yeah, I don't really think that's a reason because they actually have people say, well... Don't fix my child's broken arm. God will do it. You know what I mean? That kind of shit.
See, that's fucked up.
That's
child
dumb.
abuse.
You know, it's kind of dumb.
You should have your kids.
So I don't believe in that kind of shit. But the whole idea of that might be a bad quality experimental vaccine and that's a risk.
See, but yeah.
See, I look at that kind of shit or like...
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. It's like people that are worried about that, they will like eat food from the grocery store. They will like walk out in traffic or whatever. They will take other risks every day and not think about it in the same way that they think about that, which to me is dumb.
Oh, well, okay, well, they can call me dumb.
I'm just saying it's like it's all risk assessment. It's all risk assessment. How likely is it that a vaccine has something that somebody has put in it to specifically kill you?
No, I didn't
How
say that.
likely is it that you will get a disease that will for sure kill you or make your life really, really unpleasant for a very long time? You have to like weigh those two things together. How likely
is it that you don't take that vaccine and you never get sick?
Well, that's a possibility as well.
So that's one.
But so that's another thing that you have to take into consideration.
So that's one of the things I'm taking.
But I'm just saying that the things that they vaccinate you for, you know, like they give the kids like MMR vaccines and stuff like that. You know, that seems to me the risk of that vaccine is of something being wrong with that vaccine is so fucking low in comparison to how unpleasant the disease is.
Well, I've never turned down every vaccine. I've taken a lot of them.
Yeah, so have I.
It's just that when they asked me about that flu, when I turned that one down because that's not a deadly disease.
Like I said, not for you.
Yeah,
like
so
for some people it is.
I want that shit, man.
Like I said,
that's an unnecessary risk.
I'm not saying like if people want to do the flu vaccine every year, like some people do, and that's fine. It's like I don't because I don't get the flu and it doesn't really bother me that much. But if I was older or if I had an immunocompromised or if I was immunocompromised, then yes, I would indeed.
I took all kinds of vaccines going through the Army. That's
yeah,
all the
I've had all my fucking vaccines,
but I'm just
and
saying,
I don't. I've never had anything.
I'm not into all this. I'm gonna get some extra vaccines. I'm not into that.
But like I said, they were just giving you. They didn't make you take it, did they? They just asked you if you wanted it.
Yeah, and I was like, I didn't want. But then they tried to guilt trip me, like they maybe they were gonna get a commission off of it, and then I started to get suspicious.
Because here's the thing. Like I feel like you have this thing where you kind of feel like everyone is doing stuff at you. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, that's how it is.
You know what I mean? And it's like most people in the world, like nobody in the world, pretty much like most 99.999% of the people don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about me. They're not thinking about it. They're thinking about their own damn self. Yeah. And it's like, so, which in a way that's very freeing because so I don't care about it.
They were doing it.
No one is like maliciously trying to do anything to me.
All right.
You know what I mean? And if you think that, that's kind of like, that's, a little bit of a red flag.
No, I didn't think they were doing it at me. You know what I mean? It's just that I didn't.
You thought they were trying to kill you with the vaccine, though.
Well, not them. Maybe somebody up in higher echelons above reality. Maybe that's some kind of a fucking, eugenics program. You know what I mean? I didn't think it was like them, But the people who made the vaccine, I don't know who this is.
But they didn't know who was going to take it. They just make flu vaccines.
No,
It just comes off a fucking factory.
The kind of guy I imagine wouldn't care. Just be like, I ain't going to take it. Kill all them people,
Well, like I said,
I'll make all kinds
flu
of money.
vaccine, I'll make an exception for that because I don't take it personally. But just,
I don't imagine it killing you like on the spot. It'd be like something that like.
Well, I would hope not. That'd be a little
15
fishy.
years from now, you come down with like some fucking dick cancer or something like that. It's gonna be something like that. Or,
Right, but the thing about it is like, what if you would have
And then
gotten
you
dick
die
cancer
early.
anyway? What if you would have got dick cancer anyway? There's no way of knowing that.
I just would have blamed them vaccines that I had in the army.
That's what I mean. And see, that's another problem.
No, okay, I'm just.
That's
fucking,
another
I'm
problem.
Just fucking around.
Is that
I'm just fucking around.
every psychology
can't
class
know.
I've taken, every psychology
You can't
class I've
know.
taken, that's what I'm saying. Every psychology class I've taken, every critical thinking class I've taken,
See, this is the
the
shit I
thing
live
they
with.
pound you
This
into
is
your
the shit I
head,
live with.
correlation is not causation.
This is the shit I live
Meaning
with,
just
people.
because something happened after that,
living with
that
fucking
doesn't mean
Einstein,
that caused
fucking
that.
brainiac here. You're a fucking brainiac. You're like
Post
Einstein.
hoc ergo
We gotta
propter
get back.
hoc.
We gotta get back to. We gotta get back. Stop trying to reason with me. I'm not reasonable.
Yeah, I know you're not.
Okay.
We're gonna have to talk about the Black Death, but probably we should take a break so I can get another drink and then.
Well, did we ever get down to the bottom? I think we pretty much wrapped up the.
Yeah,
the
it's like
Chinese thing.
everybody.
It's dangerous, folks. It's
It
dangerous.
is, but
It's dangerous.
fucking calm down, seriously. I mean, we've only had a few cases. Have you been to China? Then you probably should worry about it.
It's gonna work China over. It's
Just
gonna work 'em
stay
over.
home. It's like try not to infect. Wear a mask. Try not to infect other people.
It's gonna be a
you know.
while before it gets here, and chances are. when it
But
gets
SARS,
here,
I remember when SARS
not gonna
happened
be
in
as-
2009, and I remember everybody in the news like flipping out about that. I'm like immune to everybody like flipping out on the news because they do it all the time.
Yeah.
So in a way that's kind of bad because they cry wolf so much that it's like if something really bad happened, I'd be like, man, whatever, because it's like they're always like crying about whatever.
By the time it gets to the U.S. population, I think it'll be kind of watered down.
That's what I mean. So I'm just kind of
Europe
like,
maybe have a little bit more of a
how
risk.
likely is it that I'm gonna get it? And even if I get it, am I going to die from it? That is very, very unlikely, so I'm not worrying about it.
This shit could make its way into Africa, and Africa wouldn't even notice it, I don't think. They got so many other
They have
diseases.
so many other problems,
They wouldn't
seriously.
even notice it. They would be like these old fucking... Because how many deadly diseases they have going on over there right now?
Well, that's what I mean.
Ebola's one of them.
Well, and
They wouldn't
they're still like having AIDS
Yeah.
pandemic and shit like
they
that, so
wouldn't-
that's still going on.
They wouldn't even notice this. But,
Probably not. They're just like, oh boy, another thing.
But I think China is the perfect breeding ground for this one. And it's going to get them way worse than it gets the United States and the Europe, I believe.
Yeah, it probably will. And like I said, they seem to have done an okay job of containing it so far. So, I mean, there have just been very, very isolated cases in other places. So, we'll see how it goes.
You got to
Maybe
keep your eye out for them terrorists, though. Because they're going to get samples of this.
right, but it's like what
It's not as good as Ebola, although Ebola, doesn't spread that quickly. It's more deadly, but it doesn't spread
it's a
as
different type of
well. Yeah,
it
doesn't spread. This would,
well, flu viruses are always more deadly because they can pass just through the air. Like you
Yeah.
can just sneeze on somebody and they
this
get
would
it.
make a better bioweapon, I think, than Ebola. But
Ebola is bloodborne, is it not? Or it's much harder to
it's just harder. It doesn't transmit as well.
transmit.
But this one transmits easily, but it's just not that deadly. If you keep giving it to a country over and over again, you could cause a lot of havoc, especially economic havoc. But eventually, I think that population would build up a resistance to it.
Well, and I think that's what happened when we talk about Spanish flu. I think that might have been what happened and why Spanish flu killed disproportionately younger people, where usually it would kill older people. And I think that might have been a factor because of another flu pandemic that had happened earlier that had given immunity to older people. But yeah, so let's take a break. I want to come back and we'll talk about Black Death and we'll talk about Spanish flu and stuff like that, because we went on way more about coronavirus than I meant to. That was just supposed to be a little bit at the beginning.
It bees that way sometimes.
It bees that way?
It bees that way sometimes. Sometimes we start talking about crazy shit like that. It's kind of...
I mean, technically, we're still talking about pandemics. So.
Yeah.
That's what I said the show was about. So,
I gotta make another drink.
So quit your bitching. Yeah. I
gotta find Pookie.
I probably need one too. Yeah, we gotta go find baby Cookie. She's outside running around on the porch. All right, so we're gonna take a break. We will be back in just a few minutes.
What you doing, Boogs? What's up? What's up? What's up? What you doing? What happened?
Oh my goodness.
What happened? Ah,
Oh.
she's like, fuck you. What's up? Where are we going?
What's the matter, Pookie?
We going somewhere? Are we going somewhere?
Oh, we're going somewhere.
Look at her walk.
Do.
Where are we going?
You're such a goofball. What you doing? Look at that little tail. What's the
She's
matter,
like, I've
Pookie?
had enough of you people.
What's the matter, Pookie? You don't love Mommy and Daddy no more? You don't love us no more? What are you... Okay. Where are you going? Where are we going? Where are we going? Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, you're going to the treat plate, I see. Yeah, that's alright. You can have some treats. You're so silly.
You love true crime. I love true crime. And I've spent the last 3 years compiling a series of the most intriguing unsolved murders of the 20th century. It's called The Faceless Villain, and Volume 3 is available now. Featuring such fascinating cases as the Ketty murders, the Carrie Babies case, the Frog Boys, the Alcasar murders, and the Inokashira Park dismemberment incident, The Faceless Villain Volume 3 is an involving exploration of unsolved slayings spanning the years from 1980 to 1999. Pick up your copy in print or ebook formats on Amazon, or download the audiobook version from audible.com, and get ready for a chilling journey through modern crime history. All right, we're back.
We're back.
Talking about pandemics.
And homeopathic medicine. We were talking about colloidal silver, because I take that shit and she's making fun of me like, you're going to turn blue.
I was like, dude,
I
I don't want to hang out with a Smurf. Come on now. That shit doesn't work.
Chinese medicine works for millions of Chinese people.
Yeah, there's something called the placebo effect.
It's fine. If that's what it is, then fine.
So I'm actively working against you by telling you that shit doesn't work.
Fucking slap you.
It will turn you blue though, like seriously.
I don't take that much of it though.
Okay, we'll see.
Words off evil. It's fucking silver.
All right.
It's fucking silver, man.
So you won't get eaten by any werewolves,
Yeah.
is what you're saying. Well, that's a plus.
I think it works. I think it works.
But like I said,
I feel like
that's
it
like
works.
it's like it's not quite the same because I
I'm a
think
man of emotion.
because there is actually some shit in it, albeit stuff that your body doesn't actually need. But homeopathic medicine, that's a whole other thing. You might as well just fucking drink water with that shit.
If any of you people,
because that's all that is.
Yeah. If any of you people have any kind of faith in any kind of, you might as well just click off now because she'll fucking destroy your faith and shit. I don't believe it though. To me, it's
don't
like,
work.
It's like psychological warfare. My fucking.
Come on.
Yeah. No, my willpower is fucking strong enough where I can fucking convince myself of anything, and it works.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's good. I'm like Spock over here. I'm just like I'm kind of like.
I guess that means I'm fucking Kirk.
Well, I think we've gone into that before.
Yeah.
That's why if anybody's asking, because I think some people were like, they were very happy on the Valentine's show that we kind of went into like our origin story a little bit. Yeah. But it's like I think that's kind of why we work out very well because that's pretty much exactly the dynamic.
If you watch Star Trek, the original series,
you're Kirk and I'm Spock.
That's it. That's exactly it.
That's exactly how it is.
Exactly it.
It's like that's very funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's very good.
That's exactly it.
Yep.
It is. I ain't even joking. That is it.
Yeah, that's not a joke at all.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the Black Death. You want to?
Yeah.
All right. So, the Black Death, which most people know, like I said, it wasn't just a one-time event. It happened like over successive decades. But the worst part of it happened between 1347 and 1352. Estimated to have killed between 30 million and 50 million people. which, you know, considering this was back in the fucking 1300s.
Before they knew how to count.
Before they knew how to count.
It was a fuck ton of people, man.
It was like half the population, roughly like half the population. So you can remember, so you can think of how it must have been for people of that time period, and suddenly half the people
it was
are
enough
fucking gone.
to drive people crazy for generations. To fucking
You can't blame them,
to
right?
paint lurid fucking paintings of fucking
There's some great
dancing
paintings. This
fucking
shit,
bodies and dead bodies and
like Hieronymus Bosch.
yeah, weird pilgrimages and fucking weird crusades. You know, like fucking
The flagellants.
yeah, people just walking around moaning and wailing and just weird shit, man.
I did
But
what
you
like
can kind of understand it. They thought it was God's judgment.
yeah, they didn't. Obviously this was the medieval period, so they did not understand the germ theory of disease.
And if you told them a germ theory, they'd fucking kill you.
Yeah, they'd probably think
Yeah, they'd be
witchcraft.
like, oh, yeah.
Burn her at the stake. So
Yeah.
that's probably what they were thinking. So you can imagine like how scary it was.
I think some people knew though. You know why?
Well, no, I think they did too.
Because the damn plague doctors, those masks with all the damn flowers and shit, because they thought smells or what they call it, is it erasmus? What they
Miasma.
Call it? Miasma. They thought miasmas were doing it. Well, by what is the vehicle of the miasma? That's kind of like a proto concept of something going in you, something small going in you and making you sick.
That is kind of, yeah, I was thinking
And-
that when I was watching, because I watched a couple documentaries on this. There's one that's actually has Leonard Nimoy narrating it, which was very nice. And there was another one that was like somebody else. But it's like, that was one thing that I thought of. It's like, it sounds dumb that they thought that stinky air was causing the plague.
But that's the same as the airborne
But
pathogen.
they weren't that far
That's
off,
right.
if you think about
And
it.
then that damn mask with the big beak filled with all...
like the bird mask, the plague
bird
doctor mask, yeah.
That's an effective gas mask for plague.
Yeah.
Because when you're dealing with bio, even though the virus is fucking tiny, 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 it doesn't get into you on its own. It gets into you in little droplets of water. So if you have something in between you and the outside world that can catch those droplets of water,
Then that's a plus.
then that's a fucking
Sure.
plus. That's as good as a damn mask, a surgical mask, maybe
Yeah.
better. So that plague doctor's outfit, that's a fucking biosuit. That worked.
Yeah.
And that's why they lived, or
It-
it had, or at least it must have given some kind of protection.
It didn't work for the reasons that they
they
thought
thought
that
it was
worked.
working, but it was working.
Yeah. Well, because
they
anything
might've-
that covered up your face and
Right, would
like had
catch
you
those-
not breathing in.
Would catch
Yeah.
spit particles and fucking
Right.
blood particles that were in the air, or so it worked. Now, would they get infected anyway when they took the mask off and fucking cross contaminated?
Yes.
Yeah, but that was probably it would increase your chances of fucking survival
would,
if you had
yeah,
that damn
while you
mask
had
on
that
when
on.
you were doing that stuff.
Well, and especially because these were doctors, so they had to like go to the bedsides of
You're
people
right.
that already had it.
So in a way, it was good thinking.
Yeah,
In a way,
I
it was
mean,
very good
like I
thinking.
said, in their rudimentary way, they did understand that a person that had it. Now, they also did think that that if a person that had the plague looked at you, then that would give you the plague also. So
That's
some of
fucking
the
crazy. That's
so
like-
some of the plague doctor masks had like these like red crystal things like over the eye holes,
So they couldn't see you.
so they couldn't really see.
So you couldn't make eye
So
contact.
that was like another, yeah. So that
Couldn't
was like
make eye
another thing.
contact.
Which, like I said, that's dumb. But it's like they didn't know that at the time. But they were on the right track.
Well, they're
you have
trying.
to say.
That's good. Still good thinking.
It is.
That is
yeah.
still good thinking because, well, you had in the Roman era the idea of the fucking evil eye. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that comes into factor. But it's just the whole idea of trying to separate yourself from the sick.
Yeah.
Where you're not even seeing them.
Yeah.
You can put my fucking my crystal on. I can't see you. I'm fine now.
Where are you?
Yeah, I'm fine now. So the thinking is actually pretty sound. I mean,
Yeah, they weren't that stupid.
In another
they did.
civilization, it might be even wackier. Like I'll hang a fucking damn prom frond over my head and I'm fine. You know what I mean? There might be some island civilizations that might think that, or like in Brazil, you know what I mean, where the women, you know, tie tongas around their fucking waist, which is a damn little dental floss, which to prevent rape. Yeah.
How'd that work out?
And they didn't get raped. They didn't have the shit on because they had that on, so you couldn't rape them.
Well, you know,
Certain
I have this
Brazilian
particular
Indians
shade
believe
of
that.
red lipstick on, and that prevents me from getting eaten by tigers.
Yeah, exactly.
My proof is I have
not
not
been eaten-
thus far been eaten by a tiger.
Right. That's exactly the same. That's exactly the.
That's called magical thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. But I understand it.
Yeah, and like I said,
Because
I'm
the
not.
men believed it. Oh, well, she's got that on. Can't rape it.
That's what I mean. If it becomes a widespread enough belief, it becomes
Yeah.
a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Right, yeah.
And like I said, the plague doctor suits, like you said, you know, a lot of the shit that they did was dumb, and it's like they were doing it for like dumb reasons or incorrect reasons. Let's say that. But in practice, it did kind of work out.
We're calling it dumb. It was theoretical.
Yeah.
Okay?
They didn't know.
They were experimenting.
They didn't know what was causing it.
Still worked. It was
Like
a
I
gas
said,
mask.
they either thought that God was punishing them or that stinky air was causing it.
It was a gas mask, and having lenses on the gas mask would fucking prevent those particles from going into your eye and spreading it.
Yeah.
Okay? So they were kind of...
So maybe, yeah.
The thinking was right.
Yeah.
Because, you see, a mask isn't enough. You have to have a
Yeah,
way
because
to
your
keep-
eyeballs are kind of...
Right, your
gooey.
eyeballs are also a way in.
Yeah.
So the lenses, the thinking was correct that you should isolate yourself as much as possible from the diseased.
Yeah.
And having a lens is better than not having a lens.
Yeah.
The idea of, well, we're going to prevent him from looking at me, so therefore I won't be... That's just part of the quarantine.
Yeah.
You're making a quarantine.
Yeah.
You're overcompensating. Bitch can't even see me. He can't see me. I can't see him. Ain't no way I'm going to get sick. So I totally understand it.
Yeah, and like
totally
I
understand
said,
it.
they did seem to understand on some level that contact with somebody that had the illness, even though they didn't know what was causing it. They didn't know about germs. They didn't know about things that were
They
like
just needed a
microscopic.
shield from it.
Yeah, but they instinctively knew, hey, let's not. Because even people that were sick, like their own family members, and this is fucked up, but like their own family members. Oh shit, coronavirus.
No, I swallowed wrong. Okay.
Sure. But yeah, even their own family members would be like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
Because, and they're like, hey, please take care of me. I'm sick and everything. They're like, yeah, no.
Yeah, this is probably one of the worst diseases in fucking recorded history.
It is.
There was some stuff happening in the Roman Empire, the late Roman Empire, that was bad too, that we don't really understand. It might have had something to do with the fall.
Well, there was the Justinian plague.
Yeah.
There's like the Antonine plague.
I
or
think some
whatever
people
it
have
was.
figured what that out. But
I think that was typhus, actually.
Yeah, a lot of it had to do with impure water and cross-contamination and fucking improper damn sewage and sewage mixing with the drinking water.
Seriously, people did not understand.
Yeah.
And I will recommend this book right here, which is called The Ghost Map. This is about a really bad cholera epidemic that happened in the UK in the 1800s. And that was how they figured out that cholera was caused by water that had been polluted with human sewage, because they didn't know that beforehand.
Right.
So this book is about like the one doctor that figured that out, and nobody wanted to listen to him because they thought he was high. And
it came out of you. Why can't it go back into you?
right.
You know what I'm talking about?
How could anything
could
be
that-
bad
how could
about
that be
human
bad?
shit? Why
Yeah.
can't we just have like piles of shit outside the fucking house?
Why can't we have a fucking
It's
pot
fine.
of shit in our house with a lid on it? Up in the
Right.
cupboards.
So we'll just put it in the
Put it in the
cupboard.
cupboards.
Just like we talked
Like we
about on the
did. Yeah,
fucking-
like we did.
Yeah, it's like you just have the poop as far away from you as possible. It's like that. It smells bad for a reason. But so the Black Death, like I said, the worst, the worst outbreak of it, even though there were several subsequent outbreaks, was from 1347 to 1352. I have seen estimates from between 30 million people to 50 or 60 million. Like I said, it usually says it killed, about half the population of Europe at the time. Now, what they didn't know then, but what we know now, is that the disease was actually carried by fleas, which were on rats, particularly black rats. And the disease had actually come from Central Asia. The reason that it didn't spread there was because one, it wasn't as unsanitary as Europe, I guess, and the people were more nomadic, so they were like more spread out, so they didn't really have a chance to like kind of all gather in these like filthy cities where they were all living on top of each other and like having their sewage in the streets and having
No
just
showers
these rats,
and,
right, and stuff like that. So it didn't really spread. So
Dirty
they're not
clothes.
right. So they're not entirely sure where. I mean, maybe the bacteria for this has always existed in fleas, or whatever, but it just seems like it couldn't get a foothold in Asia where it originated, they think, just because the human conditions were not correct. You know what I mean? But what ended up happening was that even though the disease originated in Central Asia, it was actually taken by like the Mongol warriors and traders and stuff like that who were going in and out of Europe actually probably ended up taking it there. Because what ended up happening was that the fleas were on the rats. If the rats died of the plague, then the fleas would jump onto the humans.
Yeah, and the rats were living underneath the floorboards, underneath your little fucking peasant house.
Yeah.
And in the winter, they would be up in there, and we're talking about lots of rats. We're not talking about a modern idea of, yeah, there's a rat. No.
Oh, there's a couple rats.
Like a couple hundred rats living underneath your house in a big old fucking fest, in a rat fest. They actually had some shit.
Fest.
Yeah, they've actually had some shit. They've showed it. I saw a picture of it. I forgot what it's called. They thought it had something to do with wet witchcraft. Every now and then they would see a huge ball of rats jumping down the damn road, all their fucking tails tied together. You seen that thing?
Mm-hmm.
What's that thing called? Do you remember?
No.
They were giving it damn Germanic names and like trying to figure out what the hell was, because the rats were cold and they were just sleeping so close to each other under the house, and their little tails, they could cause a knot where you'd have like 30 rats tied together by the tail.
And they were like,
Did it by themselves.
Damn it.
They'd all start fighting, and then they'd come up underneath the house in a big old ball, trying to run in every direction at once, and it would freak the fucking villagers out. They would thought
I
that
can see that.
that a damn witch was approaching, So
Poor people in the Middle Ages, they thought
Yeah.
everything was witchcraft or God
Yeah.
fucking with them.
So in old Europe, back in the ancient honky motherland, when it got cold, okay, you might have fucking hundreds of rats living underneath your house because you had a fire going in there. So, you know what I mean? They're like, oh man, we gotta get in here.
Yeah, it's warm.
Right. Well, when they started dying of plague, the fucking fleas would jump on the other rats.
Well, yeah,
and then when those rats would
fleas
die,
eat
they'd
blood,
jump on
you
those
guys.
other rats, and you'd have fucking millions of generations of damn fleas jumping onto the rats as they die until there's no more rats, and then they just come up out underneath your house. Thousands and thousands of fucking fleas
Jumping on the humans.
jumping on the humans.
Because we have blood too.
Carrying plague.
Yep.
And your ass was fucking gone.
And that's what ended up happening.
Because they just didn't have any kind of medical understanding.
Well, and the problem too, particularly in medieval Europe, was that particularly in, let's say lower income areas,
Yeah.
you would have like entire families living in one room. It's not like nowadays where everybody has their own room and it's like
one room.
Yeah, everybody, like there would be like 20 people.
Instead
living
of
in a tiny
having a
house.
different room for your kids and you just all slept in the same bed.
They all
and
slept in
and
the
then
same
you
bed.
put a board in between you to shield the kids from the sex. A board. That's some fucked up
And then
shit.
the kids
right
would be
there.
like peeking
They're like,
over.
what the hell's going on over
Although
there?
probably they were like over
They're
it.
probably over that shit.
They're
They
probably
know all
like,
about
ooh,
that.
they're doing it again.
Yeah.
Oh, gross. What are
Right.
they doing? It's kind of like,
Just put the board up.
yeah, let's put the board up. So
Yeah, that's
it's
some
not-
weird shit.
It is, yeah. But I guess it was like normal to them.
Yeah,
But,
they- it was the kind of situation. It's in a way China's still like that. There's no expectation of privacy.
I cannot.
You
live
might
that
have
way.
3 generations of a family living in an apartment. You know what I mean? And grandma's always in your shit and wants to know where you're going. Then they want to look at your damn laptop and they want to see what's going on your where you're going. Yeah, everything's authoritarian there. Ask Serpent ZA. That's a great channel. And Lawai.
Somebody touches my laptop, I'm punching their teeth
they
out.
They said they get girlfriends.
And there's not
with
anything
girlfriends.
bad on there.
Said that when they were dating in China, the girl grab your phone and go through your friend list and look at all your conversations. You go, what are you doing? And, I was who you're talking to. They don't have any kind of...
But that's just the cultural
That's just the
expectation.
culture. They don't have any fucking concept of...
It's like if you did that here, somebody would
privacy.
like fucking knock
They
you
come
out.
from a totalitarian regime where everything is fucking surveillance, you know what I mean? So it's just normal to them. Everybody got to know. Everybody's in somebody else's shit.
Yeah.
It's not American at all. You get
Well,
my
like-
shit, I'm going to bust you up. Don't get my shit.
Well, yeah,
See
like
my
it-
face? There you go. That's the smile on my
Well,
face.
honestly, I don't ever. It really never occurs to me to like look into other people's shit anyway. One, because I don't really give that much of a shit about other people, but
I'm not
also,
paranoid. Yeah.
yeah, it's like I don't really care. Because it's weird because even some other like Americans, like I've heard of like other people I know, and they're like, oh, they go over to somebody's house that they're like dating or whatever,
Yeah,
and they
looking
like go
through
through
all
their
this shit.
medicine cabinet. It's like that would never occur to me. One, I don't care what's in their medicine cabinet. Why would I care what's in their medicine cabinet?
I want to see if you're sick.
Why would I care
go.
about that?
I don't
It's
know.
like if you don't have any fucking bodies in the basement.
They got some people that
You're
were
good.
raised bad.
I would never go
never
through
go-
somebody else's stuff in their house. That would never occur to me. It just
Yeah.
really wouldn't.
Remember that program where they had that guy where every time you go to a girl's house, he'd have to go into her shower, pull the fucking drain out, and
And
get
pull all the hair
pull
out.
the hair out of the bottom of the drain.
Ah,
take it with
yeah, I
You
remember
had to
that
know
too.
what the hairball looked like in the bottom of the drain. That's some weird shit.
Okay, well that guy is clearly disturbed.
Yeah.
But
That's just an exaggerated form of what we're talking about.
Yeah. But it has never occurred to me when I go to somebody's house, like a friend's house that I've never been to before, it would never occur to me to go through their stuff. It wouldn't occur to me.
Yeah.
And if somebody like would come over to my house and go through my stuff, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Get your ass busted.
Yeah, I'm just going to kick
Imagine
you.
that. Jenny put the fucking strap on. Coming at you, gonna peg a motherfucker.
Oh, I will.
Yeah. I wouldn't know anything about it. I ain't into that.
He's not into like he's.
No.
I'm mean, but I'm not that mean.
No.
I am kind of mean though.
It was funny though, just to fucking come up with that shit.
It was.
You can tell that fucking tequila's kicking my ass right now.
I know. I can tell.
But yeah, I'm just trying to imagine the plague. See,
Well, like I said,
back in those days,
Nowadays,
you would have been
it's-
so fucking freaked out. 'cause
it's
you wouldn't know.
terrible nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, because no one wants to get like a horrible illness and die, obviously, or watch their loved ones get a horrible illness and die.
Yeah.
But it has to be several orders of magnitude worse
When
to
you
get that, and you don't know what it is.
Well, actually, they thought they knew what it was. They thought it was fucking supernatural. They thought it was the wrath
yeah,
of God.
like they thought everything.
So that would fuck you up.
or
even worse.
stinky air.
Yeah,
miasma.
stinky air is something. But it was my understanding that most of them thought it was punishment.
They did, and
Right.
as a result of the plague spreading throughout Europe, there were like all these like crazy like religious
Yeah.
like offshoot groups like the Flagellants and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
you should tell them about what the symptoms were.
Well, okay, well let me kind of go back to where
Okay,
I
go
was
ahead,
at the
go
beginning.
ahead.
So
She's got that shit all worked out. Go
I've
ahead.
got this shit all worked out. We're going off in all different directions. This is like probably the drunkest show we've done in a while.
It's not that drunk. I'm gonna get it even drunker.
I will too,
I'm only
probably,
on the second drink.
because I still have. Well, I'm only on the second one too, but you know what I mean. So, anyways, like I said, even though the plague had been present, as far as they know, like in China for a while, but it hadn't really got a foothold in the human population because the way the human population lived was not conducive to it spreading to any large extent. However, when it got taken into Europe by the Mongol warriors and traders, it ended up coming into Europe via Italy. They think it came in via ships, or rather rats on ships that were coming into the Genoese trading ships that were coming from the Black Sea. Now, 2/3 of people that got this disease died from it. So it's a very, very high mortality rate. Estimated between 30 and 50% of the population died from the Black Death. Now, so many people died that, as we mentioned earlier, it ended up having like huge, like far-reaching consequences to medieval society as a whole. One of the main things being like the end of serfdom. This was probably the main factor that caused that. I mean, I'm sure there were probably other factors because there always are, but this seemed like the main factor that kind of, caused
more or
it,
less
brought
what
it
year,
into that.
What year are we talking about?
This is 13,
Yeah.
like mid 1300s.
Right. End of serfdom.
Yeah, that's it. It definitely did, like, because like I said, it wiped out so many people that there was such a labor shortage.
That actually plays into the beginning of African slavery. Because
Yeah,
what ended
probably.
up happening, right? Because what ended up happening is that they couldn't re-enslave white people, but you had black slaves appearing on the market, and the church okayed it, said that, well, because they're heathens, all right,
Then it's okay.
and they're captive, you can go ahead and buy them because we can introduce them to Christianity, and that's what at least one of the popes said. So that
I'm sure it was more than
so
one.
that okayed
That was their whole shtick.
right. And because the population wasn't high enough, there wasn't an excess of white people at the time. To where
Yeah, because so many of them.
because you have to have an excess before you could start enslaving people. It's weird, but
People have to be.
It has always been a supply and demand situation.
It is. That's
Always.
a messed up way of thinking of
But
it.
that's what it is.
It kind of works out that way.
Right.
And so the fact that serfdom ended around this time period was pretty much, like I said, I'm sure there was other factors.
the demand
but
was too high.
It had to do a lot with like the plague because so many people had died, and so many people that were left were just like,
Right.
fuck this. I don't need to put up with this crap anymore. Pay me or I'm leaving.
Right.
So a lot of that did kind of contribute. And like I said, it was a big contributor to the Renaissance as well.
Right. Had the plague never happened, there never would have been African slavery. There would have been no need for it.
That might be
There would have been no
a
demand.
point that you could argue, sure.
There would have been no demand.
Yeah,
Why buy black people when you had free white people
right.
that came with any piece of land that you bought?
Yeah,
They weren't worth anything.
yeah. Because that was the thing. Like pretty much up until the Black Death happened,
Right.
that was kind of like the whole medieval setup was like
Yeah.
you kind of had your castle with your fucking, your ruler or whatever, and they like had all of these peasants that lived on the fucking.
We got black fans and subscribers. Fucking, there's one in particular sticking out in my mind. If you want to fucking blame slavery on one thing, that we figured it out. All right.
Well, like I said, it's always more than one thing.
It's many things, but that was a main factor.
It was a huge deal because you have to think how many people this killed.
Right.
That made a huge
Put a huge dent
impact.
put a huge dent in the population culturally, and you couldn't re-enslave white people after that.
Yeah, they weren't having
there was a shortage of labor, and black slaves were available on an international slave trading market.
Yeah.
And the Pope said it was okay because that was a way to spread Christianity. And then soon after that, the discovery of the New World, the colonization of the New World. So that increased it.
Which was another pandemic.
That
was a whole other thing.
That was inevitable. That's just fucking migration. It would have happened no matter what.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You couldn't prevent any of this.
No.
I mean,
it's going to happen at some point.
Yeah, people try to politicize this and racialize it. It would have happened no matter what race was anywhere. North America, Central and South America, the population density was low. The rest of the world, the population density was relatively higher. Also, in Europe, the agricultural technology allowed a certain amount of yield per acreage. It was very high comparison to, say, North America. So when those European kings saw North America and realized how big it was, all they could think of was how much food you could grow on it. Mm-hmm. And that was it. They were going to colonize it. There would have been no stopping it.
Well, and number one rule of history, if you're poor, you're going to get fucked in the ass no matter what color you are.
Yeah.
So,
Although I'd argue that, okay, all right, let's go. I'm going to argue that the Europeans, in a way, were poorer than the Indians. Because the American Indians at that time, first, it was a different kind of civilization. They had everything they needed. Those motherfuckers were badasses.
They were.
They spent most of the time whipping white people's asses.
They did.
It wasn't until really...
and like we said, diseases wiped a lot of them out
and stuff.
Too. So they were decimated.
Right.
Too.
I mean, these guys were on the level of samurai. And they were fucking, in some cases, fucking highly developed cultures with written histories and fucking their own agricultural systems going on and everything. You're not talking about fucking... They were players, too. What got them was the telegraph and the fucking railroad. Once that happened, the age of the Great Plains Indian, Roman, following the buffalo, that was
well, in a lot of ways, I think that at the time of the European conquest, you could argue that the Native Americans were living much better lives than a lot of the Europeans.
That's what I meant. I meant that they were not poor. They were richer. Because
they had a much better quality of life.
Yeah, their quality of life was better. And that you had so many white people defecting to Indian tribes.
And I can totally understand that.
And a huge majority of them, which is something they don't want to tell you, white women. White women loved Indians. They just did. They would capture some Indian tribes, separate the Indian. Because what it is that a white woman could have a high status in an Indian tribe, higher than she could have in a white town. Especially if maybe she had kind of a spotty past, she could start a new life. And that was a very free living, clean living in the field. And, the Army reported it many times that they would fucking stop Indians and take the white women from them, assuming they were captives. The army group
and
would
the
wake
women
up
were like, hey, stop it.
Yeah, the army group would wake up the next morning and the white women were gone.
We wanted to go.
Because they went back. Yeah.
I can't blame them. Having studied
how
Native American civilizations were structured and how European civilizations were structured at the time for women particularly, I think I probably would have defected as well.
I would say, beyond any shadow of a doubt, I say this as a fucking patriotic American. The Indians were more American than the lifestyle of an Indian. The mentality of an Indian was, in a way, a lot more American than the white colonists from Europe. They were British, but they weren't really American. Like, for instance, the Seminole Indians here in Florida, they were mostly Irish or half Irish, and you had black Seminole Indians.
Yeah, it was kind of like
it was a mixed.
It was kind of like a mixed bag tribe.
And the cultural values that they had, we could recognize.
Yeah,
as you know what I mean.
They were very ahead of their time. In contrast to the Europeans, they seemed like more. Their values would more line up with our values today than European values from back then.
The European mentality really couldn't make it for the long haul in the new world. It wouldn't work out. Not flexible enough. Too class oriented. Too orderly. Too much dependency on fucking laws, or complicated laws. Indians weren't like that.
Yeah,
it was an honor-based society.
We don't like that shit here either.
Well, it was the United States. Even to this day, the common people in the United States is more of an honor-based society than a legalistic society. We have laws, but when you understand Americans, it's actually more of an honor-based society. But go ahead.
Yeah, well, and like I said, Americans are like I said, this is a generalization, but Americans in general are very anti-hierarchical, anti-authoritarian.
Right.
Not all of them, obviously. Some of them kind of
more freewheeling, more flexible, and Brazilians even more so. Having grown up in Brazil, even more so. They're anarchists, but in a good way. I like Brazilians,
except for their driving.
They're driving a fucking out.
Which
toxoplasmosis, motherfuckers.
Which horrifies me.
Yeah.
And the way people drive in Orlando horrifies me.
Yeah.
But I've read about people driving in Brazil.
Worse.
That's what I mean. Worse. That would horrify me.
That's where I learned to drive.
I get stressed out.
Yeah, that's much worse.
Well, then maybe that's why your driving scares me, because
No, I don't drive like a Brazilian.
That's true.
I don't drive like a Brazilian, but I'm used to the way they drive.
Yeah, that's very scary. They drive like they don't care if they die or not.
They don't. They got toxoplasmosis, man. Look at the toxoplasmosis rates in fucking Brazil.
Although, like I said,
makes good race car drivers. Porn stars.
The thing about Orlando is that so many people here, because
are Brazilian.
Are not from Florida. Like, you know what I mean? I am, but like a lot of people aren't. And so your highways here in Orlando, where kind of everyone lives, it's kind of like this big free-for-all of people just from everywhere, from all over the United States, all over the world, everywhere. So they're all bringing their own unique driving experiences to the Orlando area, and it shows.
Yeah.
So it's like every time we have to go on I-4, I just trying to, when he's driving, I just kind of close my eyes.
Brazilians are all
no one hits me.
Brazilians are all race car drivers.
They are. It's like they want
to be in front of the traffic jam.
Yeah,
I don't understand it, but They're trying to outrun shit that you can't outrun.
That you can't outrun, yeah.
Yeah.
This does not make any sense to me. Well, when people
It's
here
toxic,
do
but it's gotta be
people
toxic, but-
people do it here too.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, where are you
They're
going?
Brazilian, I think.
Is it maybe?
Well, you've heard me say some shit.
Yeah.
That motherfucker's South American.
Because I'm like, where are
'Cause
you
that's
going?
what-
It's like
yeah.
there's like a backup. There's like a traffic
Yeah.
jam because it's I-4. There's a traffic jam like all
Yeah.
the time. So it's like they're going, but they're like racing toward. I'm like, where
Yeah,
do
where-
you think you're going exactly?
That's like some shit a Brazilian would do.
Where you-
Traffic jam.
It's like no one's moving.
Accelerate.
I
I'll get
don't
in
know.
front of it.
Yeah. Even though it's like 10 miles
Yeah.
down the fucking road. But yeah, whatever. All right. So, like I said, we were talking about Black Death. So, all right. So, bubonic plague, even though, like I said, there are more than one type of plague, but bubonic plague was the most common one during this time period. This was the most common during the 14th century outbreak. And this is, the reason it's called bubonic plague is because it causes these big, huge growths, like on your lymph nodes, usually like in your armpits and your groin area, these big, like fucking, and some of the shit is like, I've seen as big as an egg or as big as an apple.
Yeah, and they
Like-
called them buboes.
Buboes, that's what they were called.
Boils.
Yeah, that's what they were. Yeah, so there's like these big fucking growths, like all, and that was kind of like the first onset. Like that's how you knew that you had the shit, which must have been horrifying.
Must be your glands just swelling up. That's hard
It
to
is,
rock,
yeah. And these would often turn black, which I think is why it didn't get called the Black Death until later on. But I think
wonder
that's
if
kind
you
of why.
extracted somebody's glands, if it would cause them to live. I bet you the fucking reaction of those glands producing all kinds of fucking weird, I don't know, some kind of weird antibodies. I bet you that's probably what's killed them.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
A lot of times you're killed by your own immune system.
I know, isn't that fucked
Yeah.
up? I thought.
Your
Well, I think
immune
that's what
system
happened
overreacts.
in the Spanish flu thing was
Yeah.
what do they call a cytokine storm or whatever they call it,
Yeah.
where it's kind of like your immune system like overreacting, like
Yeah.
holy shit, chew all the white
Yeah.
blood cells, and
Yeah,
then
and
like
evident-
that ends up killing.
Yeah,
you.
and then sometimes like what it's overreacting to isn't really in itself a big threat. That if you didn't have an immune system, the shit would just float around in your blood for a while, and then you just piss it all out. Wouldn't matter.
I'd rather have an immune.
It would make me wonder, if I was a monk back in those days with a sharp blade, you know what I mean? I'm like, well, I'm going to do an experiment. This guy's going to die. Let's cut all these things off of them. and
I'm
see
sure
what's
they
happening.
probably thought of that.
Yeah, you would think so.
I mean, you would think that was the first thing that you would think of. It's like,
Yeah.
well, this is where the disease is, so let's
Just
cut
it
that
out.
off and
Cut
let's
those
see what
glands
happens.
out of there. Yeah.
And let's see what happens. So I'm assuming that didn't work because I've never seen anybody say anything
Well,
about
mostly the church didn't want you cutting into the human body.
it. Yeah, they were a little
See,
weird about
that was
that.
the thing about it.
That's why they didn't really know what the inside of the body looked like. For
Yeah.
like a really long
The Romans did, though. They were cutting live cows apart and fucking doing while they were alive and cut, and evidently people didn't like it, but they couldn't really object to it because it wasn't human. But
Yeah.
I remember reading that there was a Roman physician that would vivisect living cows that were tied down so people
Yikes.
could see, And people were amazed, but they were also kind of like, didn't like the fact that the cow's sitting there fucking screaming. They
Well,
were like,
yeah, I don't like
yeah.
that either.
So,
It's like, I'm all for scientific
Right.
advancement and stuff, but come on. Like,
Yeah.
don't make a cow suffer,
yeah,
for
well,
Christ's
the
sake.
ancient Romans thought the same way. Yeah. But they were very interested. They were trying to figure out what the hell made things work.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
well, that's good.
Right.
That's good.
And they weren't allowed, the Romans themselves weren't allowed really to do a lot with dead bodies. They were, for religious purposes, they were supposed to cremate
Well,
things
yeah, that
immediately.
went on until the Renaissance.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I feel like, people that, scientists that wanted to experiment on human bodies,
You had to do that shit on the sly.
you had to do, yeah, or you had to, like, go steal bodies, or you had to, like, go dig them up, or,
A la
like, buy them from...
Frankenstein.
Yeah, you
Mary
had to do
Shelley.
shit like that.
You had to do that
Yeah, you had to
Mary
do shit
Shelley
like
shit.
that. That was, like, well, that was where she got the idea from, because she had read about that kind of stuff, where you couldn't really experiment. Even, like, medical students back in the day had to kind of, like, they didn't, like, the school didn't tell you, hey, go rob some graves. But they're kind of like, well, you need a corpse to, like, experiment on, so we're not saying where to get it from or anything.
Right.
We're just saying you need one. That's all we're saying.
Yeah.
So, like, so there was, like, that's why there was, like, a big, traffic in body snatching.
Yeah, that went on for a long time. It's weird.
Because, like, what else could you do? You had to experiment
Nowadays,
on
you
living.
sell crack, but back in those days, you fucking sold dead bodies.
You
That's
went
some
to the
weird shit.
cemetery. And
Yeah, yeah. And you're selling this shit to the doctors. Hey, doc, look what I got.
Yeah.
She's only 16.
It
That's some
happened a
weird
lot.
shit, man. Yeah.
I mean, in a way, it's like, it sucks. It sucks because it was like, it was horrible at the time, but like, you can't really shit on it too much because look at all the knowledge that we got from it.
And we talked about it in other shows. When you were lacking of bodies, you could create bodies too. You just kill
like
a
Burke and
motherfucker.
Hare.
You just
We need
kill
to
a
do a
motherfucker,
show
you
about
sell
that,
that body, yeah.
one of these days.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they decided to cut out the middleman.
Yeah. On demand.
Which is, it's like, what kind of body you need? Mm-hmm. Let me write that down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go kill some fucking people. Yeah, so you get like these fucking buboes, as they called them, which is why it's called bubonic plague. You get them in your like, lymph node areas. You would also get like a really bad fever. You'd always get like joint pain and stuff like that. Now, if left untreated, and like I said, bubonic plague is still around, although in isolated pockets, bubonic plague is fatal between 30 and 75% of people who get it, often
That's
within
high.
72 hours.
That's
So if you get it
fast.
3 days later, you're fucking dead. Now, there are two other types of plague, pneumonic plague and septicemic plague. Pneumonic plague being more a lung kind of thing, septicemic plague being more like a blood poisoning type of thing. But bubonic plague is generally considered the thing that was probably like what was causing the Black Death, because several contemporary writers did describe these huge swellings like on the groin areas and stuff like that. There were several writers that were around at the time that kind of described what the shit looked like. So apparently, the plague that struck in Europe in the 14th century, there had already been some kind of like shitty stuff happening before that. There had been an earlier plague that had hit all their livestock. And also they had crop failures from, overworking the land, which happened a lot. Now, there had also been two major famines around Europe in 1316 and 1317. So that didn't help. There was also a couple of wars going on. There was the 100 Years' War, which went on from between 1337 and 1453. And that was between England and France, in case you didn't know. Also, during this time period, we were going through what is known as the Little Ice Age. So environmental factors probably played was probably a factor in why this became so widespread. Now, as I said, the whole idea of like a plague going through Europe, it was not like a new thing. There had been kind of a really bad outbreak that happened in the mid-5th century, which had gone through Constantinople and the Mediterranean area. However, it seems that the Black Death was kind of like, not like a difference in kind, but like a difference in degree. So it seemed like there was like a lot of factors like contributing to making this a lot worse than it was. Like I said, climate, fucking, the way people were living at this point and everything like that.
Yeah, hygiene, the way housing was. The winter had a lot to do with it. No rodent control at all.
Yeah, because, like I said, no one knew that that's what was causing it. So it wouldn't occur to you to like, oh, let's kill all the rats, or let's try to like make things more sanitary, or, nowadays, I'm not saying that there couldn't be like a huge outbreak of plague nowadays, because obviously there could, like, particularly a flu that's like, an airborne virus or something like that.
This is
but
bacteria.
It wouldn't be like this because one, people know what causes that now, and two, people would know what measures to take. 3, we have the, medical know-how to do some,
lifestyle and hygiene is
even if it gets,
lot.
even if our medical system gets overwhelmed, individual people know what it takes, like, to kind of like, minimize your risk of getting that shit. That's, I'm not saying that that's not, people might still get it anyway, but you know what I mean. So the main outbreak of the Black Death, which, like I said, the main outbreak of it, which happened in 1347, probably came via Sicily. Now, historians have pinpointed that there were 4 particular ships that had come from Genoa, Italy. And they were coming from, or they had come into Genoa, Italy from a port called Caffa on the Black Sea. And that these 4 ships were probably the source of the plague, because these were the ones that the rats had come off of. Now, this particular port city had been, and we were talking about this earlier, the Mongols had actually attacked this particular port city with that whole, like, we're catapulting, like, sick dead bodies, like, into your fucking city.
Yeah.
Into that. So they feel like this is probably, like, the ground zero of where the disease came from. Now, it could be, too, that the Mongols, like, had come along the Silk Road, like, just through regular trading routes and had passed it to Europeans by those type of means. So, you know, like I said, they've done genetic studies on it, and it does seem that it came from Asia somehow, but they're not entirely sure where the exact point of, the exact point was where it came into Europe.
It was probably many locations.
That's what I mean.
Over time.
It's kind of like hard to say.
And it probably happened regularly because I'm sure they had a lot of. I'm sure China had a large supply of plague-infested rats up there in China.
Well, yeah,
that
and
were
like I
fucking
said,
hitching rides in fucking boats.
Yeah.
You know, that's
because,
all
like I said, at that point in time, in a large part of China, their lifestyle was not conducive to rat spreading disease to the same extent that it would have been in Europe, because in Europe everyone was kind of like living on top of each other,
I think,
and living in unsanitary conditions, which they were not in
and
Asia.
Everything that I read, it was always winters involved. When it got cold, the rats went under your house for warmth, and when those rats started to die off, the fleas had nowhere to go but up to where the people were. And that probably wasn't happening in China.
Well, yeah, like I said, they didn't have the same living conditions.
Not saying, maybe they didn't even have houses that were raised up off the fucking floor, so the rats couldn't get underneath the damn house. There may have been some shit like that. It could be many things. Maybe it never really quite got cold enough, too.
Yeah.
To where the rats would concentrate around people for warmth. So maybe that wasn't really happening in China. We'll never know. We weren't there.
Yeah.
But it was going to be something that simple.
Yeah. And like I said, at this stage, it probably doesn't matter because they know where the disease originated from, and they just know that at some point it came into Europe, and the living conditions in Europe were very conducive to it spreading to a great deal of people in a very short amount of time.
A lot of weird shit happening to society under these stresses. I think we covered that. Did we cover how this ended?
It's odd because it didn't end in the sense that, I mean, the worst outbreak of it, so many people died. It's like, obviously the people that got it and survived, or the people that didn't get it and survived, were immune. So as it killed off all the people that were susceptible to it, it kind of like eventually petered out.
Just burned away.
But for the next 300 years...
Yeah, it kept coming back.
It kept coming back about every decade or so. Yeah. Like, it would come back, like, obviously not to the great extent that, like, that fucking 3, 4, 5 year period.
Yeah.
But it did keep coming back and killing, like, 500,000 people here, 500,000 people there.
From my readings, I remember there was, like, 3 or 4 major plagues.
There were.
Each over a period of 100-something years. But each one of them was like half the size of the one before.
Yeah.
But it was still enough. And then eventually it just kind of petered out. And it's just kind of, it fucking shows you how, I don't think that people had really changed their lifestyle. I think what it was is the disease itself was fucking changing.
Yeah, that happens
something about
as well.
It wasn't quite as deadly. That's what I think.
And like I said, the thing happens where the disease kind of ravages through a population and it kills all the people that are susceptible to it.
Yeah.
And the only people that are left are the people
that
are immune to it.
Right.
So
that could happen with the flu that's going around now, and I think it will, and I think it'll happen pretty fast.
That's what I mean.
Within about 5 years, I don't
Right.
think it'll be any kind of problem.
That's why I'm not super worried about it, because yes, the viruses, flu viruses in particular, like mutate very quickly, but humans kind of like develop immunity kind of quickly as well, especially if they've been through something.
This year, it seems to be like 5% fatal. Next year, it might be only 3. The year after that, it might only be 1.5. You know what I mean? And then it gets small, so it'll probably just peter out like the plague did.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
And like I said, as horrible as the plague was. And that killed, like I said, obviously the population of the world was much less back then, but the fact that it killed, half the people in Europe, or 50%, of the population at the time, it's like, yes, that's bad, but.
Another thing is, got to remember that this was not a virus. This was a fucking bacteria.
It was, yeah.
And it's a different life cycle for a bacteria. It's a lot more complicated. It wouldn't happen today. A virus is a lot easier to spread,
Well, nowadays it is, for sure.
Nowadays the way to go is virus, because the bacteriological ones like this are easy for us to stop. They won't happen in the first place. Our houses aren't built that way, so that fucking right there stops a lot of it.
Yeah.
And 2, rodent control.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is another thing. This is why I don't worry as much about, yes, I know that there's like, superbugs, and there's like viruses that are, immune to various, medicines that we've developed and vaccines that we've developed and stuff like that. And it's like, I know that that's a concern, but I mean, just the fact that we realize, not only the difference between bacteria and viruses and different things that cause diseases, but also how do we prevent this type of shit? It's like, it's stupid, but it's like cleanliness and sanitation goes a long fucking way toward preventing the majority of this type of shit.
And, there's a lot of people who are very modernistic. They want to live in fucking domed fucking super cities with everybody one on top of the other, and letting fucking suburbs fucking vanish and let everything return to the damn wilderness. There's a certain amount of wisdom in the American way of fucking life. Going all the way back to the 1700s, we lived a good, clean living life here because we valued low population density. Spread the fuck out. Spread the fuck out. If you're spread the fuck out, it just nothing really.
Well, nothing can take hold.
Nothing can really take hold in you. It's not the same as a bunch of, loogie hawking, fucking finger licking, fucking Chinese fucking boomers in the damn subway system, one on top of another, fucking coughing on one another. That shit just doesn't happen in most of America.
Yeah.
We don't have a fucking public transit system.
It's weird because even in the United States, even in large, densely packed cities like New York City, for example, it's nothing like that. Well, because people are aware of...
And we have space bubbles. Even when
like, don't cough on people, don't, like, it's like we're very aware of that.
Even when I lived in Boston after I got out of the Army, I was taking the T. That T is not that packed.
Yeah.
It's still a fucking civilized distance between one another. It's not like shit that I saw in Japan, where you're packing them into them damn fucking, you know what I mean, fucking subway, like sardines inside of a damn subway train. That wasn't happening in Boston. And we, fucking, and I tell you what, as much as I'll fucking, make fun of Boston and fucking, take the piss out of fucking Bostonians, I liked Boston in a way that it was during the time I was there, at least along the Red Line, it was a very civilized mass transit system. It was.
I have every mass transit system that I've been on in the United States. I have been, even New York City. It's like, sometimes like some routes kind of smell like pee, but other than that, not too bad. Not as bad as I was expecting. DC's was actually quite nice. I was surprised.
Boston Red Line back in the 90s when I was there was kind of like just going to the airport. It was nice.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
most of the time, yes, there are
Yeah.
assholes. Yes, there are this and that and the other. But it's like, I don't know. I guess because I always kind of expect the worst from people. So I'm kind of like, when people are just like cool, it's
Yeah.
surprising. And I'm
Green
just
line
kinda,
wasn't bad. That orange line, I'll tell you what, that was rough though.
it depends on the route. Sure.
Yeah. Depends on the route. That orange line was rough. Yeah.
But yeah, so like I said, even though the Black Death and bubonic plague, like I said, is still around. They haven't eradicated it. So it does still recur at some, like, in isolated pockets around the world, even to this day. But the Black Death, it's kind of like the main outbreak of it was kind of over by like 1352 or around there. But like I said, for the next 300 years, it kept recurring. Even in the 17th century, you'd still have like 500,000 people die from it or something, which is, it sounds like not a lot compared to like who died from like, the initial outbreak, but it's still bad. So it did still happen for several hundred years afterward, but then it just eventually kind of like petered out to like a manageable, like once they knew what caused it and began to like, clean shit up. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like as prevalent, which,
Right.
Now let's talk a little bit about the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic.
Yeah, this is plague number 3, which is relevant to what's going on now. We're just trying to give you some context.
This one is, I feel like a lot of people maybe, I don't know, but like I feel like a lot of people don't maybe know about this one, even though this was
It was overshadowed by a lot of
kind of worse than the Black Death. I mean, it killed more people, I think, like in terms of like relation to what the population of the world
You're
was
right.
at the
It
time.
probably-
You know what
I
I mean?
don't think it was as brutal and as fucking nasty as the fucking
No.
Black Death, just because that was the medieval period and they were liable to let fucking bodies fucking pile up in front of streets, and sanitation was bad, and anyway. Now there were a lot of mass burials and and then fucking superstitions going on in the Black Death. In this one, people knew what disease was, and they were and it was orderly. They were trying, at least in the United States, there was an organized effort to combat
To
this,
not spread it
to combat this, and to make sure people who were suffering from it got some kind of care, so maybe they could recover. And when they died, they were disposed of fucking rapidly.
Yeah.
So this is a very different cultural situation. There was an understanding of what was going on.
Although
The Black Death was like something out of that goddamn movie Excalibur.
yeah.
Remember that shit where they're
Yeah.
fucking, looking for the Holy Grail, and
Although
look,
I have to
shit
say
like
that I think one of the factors that contributed to the Spanish flu being so fatal was that it occurred while World War I was going on.
Yeah.
One, I think that helped it spread faster because of like troop movements around the world and stuff like that. And two, I think it also helped it spread faster because of the war. There was so much, like, particularly among the troops, because the first, cases of it showed up on, like, military bases.
Yeah.
So I think that was because people were malnourished, they were stressed out, they were more likely to have their immune system compromised. And because when they've done, like, when they've looked into, like, the genetic background of this particular flu strain, it was actually not any worse than some of the earlier ones that had happened, but it seemed to target more people, and particularly younger people, which was unusual for a flu strain. But I think that was because of the conditions of the time. Like you had all these young men living in trenches. They were all living very close together. They weren't, some that get sick and you wouldn't necessarily like quarantine them. It's like everyone was kind of like packed close together. Everyone was very stressed out. They were very malnourished. So I think that there was like some of that contributed to the spread of it as well.
I think it would depend a lot on the personal point of view of each person that was like in the country. I think if you were out in the middle, say like Mississippi back during this time, I don't think that this flu would have even touched your life that much. But if you were living in a city like Chicago or fucking New York, then maybe it might have been a bigger deal.
Yeah, because some of the cities at the time, like Philadelphia and Boston and stuff like that, had huge huge impact.
It goes back to what I just said a minute ago. You know what I mean? Part of the American lifestyle, most of America, low population density. And at this time you're talking about Mayberry, like right out of Andy Griffith's show. And a fucking, you know what I mean, a country lifestyle like that, diseases just don't spread as fast. And I think a lot of people were living that way back then, so I think they knew about this disease, but I don't think it personally touched the average person if you lived in the country.
This seemed like mostly a disease that targeted military bases and large cities.
Yeah, so... And another thing is I don't think in this particular pandemic, I don't think there was the same emotional impact, because you're talking about the age of science and people being rational. They knew what it was.
They knew. They immediately recognized it was another flu.
They knew what a
outbreak.
Disease was.
Sure.
So you're not dealing with fucking the same level of panic and superstition.
Where people are thinking it's like
it's God's wrath.
God
and
is
all,
like,
you know,
fucking us up, sure.
Yeah, even though the body count was higher, I kind of, from everything I was able to gather over the years about this one, people were pretty calm about it.
Yeah, although, like I said, like the one documentary that I watched that actually talked to people that had lived through it, I guess I didn't realize like the extent of it, because I kind of felt like, I mean, I had heard of the 1918 Spanish flu, and I'll get into why it's called Spanish flu.
There was a polio epidemic too.
That's what I mean. There was a lot of other epidemics going on at the time, because like I said, this was during World War One, which was, it had like a lot of young men. They were living in trenches for months at a time with not really that great of food, not really that great of sanitation. It was like, so the spread of disease was like pretty common. So I feel like that might have contributed to why this is kind of like not they were not talked about to the same extent that like maybe the Black Death or something like
getting sick and dying. They just took that for granted because that just happened.
That's what I mean. And I do feel and I do feel like even when they published like in the papers, when they would publish like the deaths of, you know, soldiers that had died in World War One, it's like they put like the ones that had died in combat like right next to the ones that had died from flu, even though the people that had died from flu was like always like 10, 50, 100 times worse than the ones that had actually died in combat.
I mean, more, right?
It was like, it was way more. Yeah. So I feel like
that was another thing about World War One. And World War One is blown up into some weird shit. World War One was a weird fucking war. All right, a lot of those guys that died in World War One, in a way, didn't die from direct enemy action. It was more like indirect shit, artillery fire. Weird, which is weird. Me being ex-infantry, you know what I mean, where they normally didn't see the enemy. Just a shell would come in and blow them up.
Yeah.
You know, and it wasn't really a war as I would know it. It was mostly just like sitting around in a wet trench, bad conditions, waiting for a fucking shell to hit you.
And like I said,
they didn't hardly ever really fight.
More people died from diseases they got just sitting around in a trench, waiting for shit to happen.
A lot of the war, I've said this before, and other people didn't fucking believe me, but it is true, and fucking, you know, historians fucking will back me up on this, because that was the ones that showed it to me. A lot of the fucking literary and cultural stereotypes about warfare, about, oh man, you know, nobody likes war, and war is nothing, oh, war is this, war is for just people that sit there or whatever, you know. That comes from World War One. World War II wasn't like that, and neither was Korea nor Vietnam. It's a very different, you know what I mean? But you always hear movies and writers constantly going back and re-quoting something that was referring to World War One.
Because that was the fucking worst.
Yeah, the Great War was one of the worst wars of all.
Horrible.
It was, from the point of view of a fucking, say, an infantryman on the ground, one of the least satisfying wars. Because you're out there in a war in which you are never allowed to fight it. So you never get it out of your system, really. You sit there in a wet fucking trench waiting for a goddamn shell to hit you on the head. And then if you went over the top, like they said, you just get mowed down by machine guns.
Mm-hmm.
So you never really fought any fucking
Fun
thing.
times.
All right, so that's more psychological stress on a soldier than it is out, say, in Vietnam, kicking somebody's fucking ass and seeing dudes and actually shooting them, in retaliation for what they did.
Waiting is always worse.
Yeah,
than
because
actually
you're sitting
doing
around
something.
waiting,
Sure.
It's a lot easier just to have guys out there killing each other. That's something upfront and honest.
Yeah, because you know what's going on.
You know what the fuck's going on. And
rather than just like constantly
sitting there waiting to
for
be a
something
target
to happen.
Yeah, and you're suffering for
and you
nothing.
don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and there's not going to be anything gained because your army doesn't have the technology to overcome the enemy. And they don't have the technology, so it's a constant stalemate.
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there being rained on. And neither side is gaining anything. So, of course, it's super demoralizing. That was probably the most inhumane and demoralizing war of all times.
And every documentary I see about this just reinforces that belief.
Now, I fucking read a lot of shit and books from fucking Patton and fucking soldiers and guys. The whole fucking series of fucking Band of Brothers is about my unit. The 1st and the 506 from the 101st Airborne Division. Most guys liked World War II. They did.
Well,
they
you
liked
had a
it.
clear goal.
There's a clear goal.
You were fighting the Nazis
who
were clearly bad guys.
Yeah.
So there wasn't like a moral gray area. There wasn't like, what I mean?
There kind of was a certain way.
Yeah, but not to the same extent.
Afterwards, they found camps and then the Nazis became even more demonized, But really what it was it was a real fight. So you could get it out of your fucking system. You know what I mean? You just didn't sit around seeing your friends getting killed and then you had no retribution.
Right.
But most guys that actually fought World War II, if you look in and you meet them like I did, because they would come and visit my unit back when I was in the fucking 506 and the 327th, veterans from all the wars would come and fucking, hey man, I hadn't been here in 30 years. They actually loved the fight. And most of the good
I have
wars.
heard the same. Like World War II veterans seem like a different.
They loved it.
I mean, when you like I said, I've seen documentaries about World War I, and we've even seen documentaries about World War I veterans where they were talking and stuff like that. It seemed like a totally different. experience.
You're always gonna have some dude that gets a shitty end of the stick, and you know what I mean. And fucking, he got killed as soon as he jumped out of the fucking boat, but he's not around to fucking tell his tale. But the guys that survived all that, usually for the remainder of their lives, that was the high point of their life.
Yeah.
And all they did was fucking talk to their
the way they
buddies the whole
talk about
time.
it, it's kind of like...
They'd go to all the reunions and everything, and that was the center of their identity, and it was all built when they were 18,
Whereas
19.
World War I just seems
World
like...
World War I was a waste of time.
Everybody's like, yeah, no, I don't.
It was a waste of fucking time.
Shit. Because that seemed like the literal worst.
It was... I couldn't imagine that. I'd be pissed off as fuck on a mission like that.
And like I said, I mean, considering the shitty conditions that they had to put up with, and then having to put up with the Spanish flu outbreak, which killed way more people than the fighting did.
And Vietnam fucking sucked because basically the way that whole system was set up is that you as an infantryman will walk around like bait waiting to get shot at so somebody else could call in jets.
Yeah.
To kill the... So there was most of the time there was no real fighting the fucking enemy. So your buddies died, and you could never really get revenge.
Well,
or do anything.
You felt like it was for nothing.
It was like it was for nothing. You're just a fucking piece of cheese on the end of a fucking hook.
Yeah.
As bait, So, Vietnam was mismanaged as fucking hell. Two of the best wars of all times, World War II and the First Gulf War. And I was in service during the First Gulf War.
Well, there were reasons for that.
Yeah, and it was clean cut, in, out, that's it. Fucking okay, we're done. But of course, guys up top wanted to make more money having a forever war. No, let's go back to Iraq. There's more money to be made there on these contracts.
Yeah, well.
It's corrupt, folks. It's a rigged system.
Well, obviously.
It's a rigged system.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. It's a rich man's game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, so as if World War I wasn't shitty enough, here was this fucking flu pandemic that killed anywhere between 21 million and 100 million people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and like I said, it seems like the conditions surrounding World War One like contributed to why this spread so quickly, because there were so many people. Because the interesting thing about Spanish flu is that normally flu epidemics, they will kill X amount of people, but it's usually like babies or really old people or people who are like immunocompromised. Spanish flu seemed to kill more people that were like young adults, which was unusual. But it could have been that the reason that this happened was, one, because young adults were more susceptible to it because they were the ones that were in the trenches. They were, experiencing malnutrition, bad sanitary conditions, etc. It could also be because there had been a very bad flu outbreak in 1889, which might have wiped out all the weaker old people, or the weaker people from 1889. And by the time 1918 rolled around, the people that had survived the flu in 1889 had immunity, when the 1918 one came around. So they were old then. Yeah. So it might have been that they already had immunity because they'd already been through a flu of that type.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This flu is similar. For right now, it's from what I remember, it's similar to the corona in terms of fucking.
It is.
The how contagious it is and the lethality.
Yeah.
I think most of them said this is about between 3 and 4% fatal.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying corona's about 6. So
it's
in the same ballpark.
I think that the Spanish flu was 10?
10?
Or maybe 12.
It depends on how they damn juggle these numbers.
Yeah.
But you have to fucking think. When Corona gets here, will the situation on the ground here in the United States or Europe, okay, because we have a lot of European and Australia, will it be the same as it was in the United States back in the early 1900s? I'm going to tell you no. No. I think it will be less lethal than that.
Well, they go through cycles, and by the time, a virus can't really survive outside of a host. So it's like the hosts that they go through are affecting their genetic structure also.
Yeah.
So
it's interactive.
Right. So that's the thing. If they kind of go through a lot of people and it's kind of like...
Well, that's what I'm thinking. With today's technology, you go back in time to the fucking Spanish flu, you're going to save a lot more of them.
Yeah. Spanish flu killed... The thing about Spanish flu, and they're not entirely sure where it started. There are people that are arguing that it started most of the theories about where it started, all on military bases. It was either a military base in France or a military base in Kansas. They're not entirely sure where the first case was, but apparently some dude turns up with flu symptoms, and then 12 hours later they're dead.
Right.
And then the flu, it spreads very, very rapidly, through this particular army base, and then it starts spreading outward into. And the shitty thing about it was that because of the troop mobilization during World War One, you were putting all these troops that were maybe asymptomatic in trains and stuff, all close together.
Yeah.
And then when they got to a new city, it would just take one person and they would spread it to a whole new population.
There's a lot of different factors that exist here in the United States and in Europe today that might really affect the mortality rate of a disease like this if it were to happen again. Air conditioning alone might affect it. You know what I mean? Some of those people that died of Spanish flu, maybe if they were in a hospital that was at 71 degrees Fahrenheit, maybe they wouldn't have died. Some of them wouldn't have died.
Yeah.
Because, they're dying of fever.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And if you have them in outside like they did back then in tents at 90-degree weather, a fucking high temperature and everything will kill you a lot quicker if you were in a fucking, you know what I mean? Versus say 70 degrees. So I think a lot of factors have changed. I think if the same disease were to happen again in the United States today, the mortality wouldn't have been as high as it was back in the early 1900s.
That's what I'm saying. That's why
just for real simple reasons.
That's why I don't worry about it as much because, I mean, particularly the way we live nowadays, it's kind of like, I'm not saying that it couldn't spread to a lot of people, because it could, obviously.
Yeah, I think
it's very easy to spread.
A lot more of them will recover.
But yeah, I do feel
recover.
like because of the awareness of it, because of the way we live, because of the technologies that we have, I think it would be a lot less lethal.
I think so too.
Than it would have been.
A lot more of them would have recovered.
This is 1918 we're talking about.
Right. And there was a lot of differences back in 1918.
Yeah, it's like 1918.
That's
they
almost
didn't have
1800s.
They didn't have widespread air conditioning. They didn't have they knew what was causing it. Like as soon as they had isolated the virus, they recognized it as an influenza virus, and they also recognized it as one that was a different strain and that was a more virulent strain. So they did recognize that even in 1918. So they did know, hey, don't go around sneezing on people. Hey, so they did warn people about please wear masks and stuff like that. Even there's videos of when the armistice was declared, for the First World War, you can see all the parades and stuff like that happened, and everybody had masks on, and that's because of this fucking flu. Yeah. But they did warn people about doing that. So they weren't as clueless.
Yeah, but even back then, there's even back then with the knowledge that they had, there's still a huge improvement with today.
Oh yeah.
I mean, today.
Well, now we can within a day or two you can you can do a genome sequence on
even smaller shit. Today you might have a bunch of fucking nurses running around a sick ward with a bunch of people with this coronavirus telling people to drink water. And back then, maybe they didn't. Maybe just maybe a certain amount of dehydration alone killed a certain percentage of them. I mean, there's a lot of little small things can add up to make a difference.
Yeah.
Air conditioning, proper hydration, rolling dudes over on their sides, or fucking turning them in another direction so they can cough fucking fluid out of their lungs. You know what I mean? There's just all those little things can kind of add up.
Yeah.
To save, thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah, and even though it might not save one individual person, but
the averages
overall,
change overall.
Sure. Because like I said, our knowledge is constantly progressing, and it's we don't know everything and shit like that, but we know an exponential amount, more stuff than they knew back in the medieval era, or even in 1918. So we know a lot more than they knew.
And we can't go back to 1918 to see exactly what the nurses were doing on the ground in all these hospitals. Right. They might have been fucking, like I said, telling people to lay on their damn backs and lay still.
Yeah.
That could kill somebody.
It could, yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, no, don't let him cough all that up. We don't know.
It seems like not a big deal, but it is a big deal.
Little bitty things can make a big difference.
Well, nobody thought that washing your hands was a big deal. Right. But that's one of the main things that prevents you spreading things to other people is constantly washing your hands.
Right. I'm not trying to minimize this fucking outbreak. Respect it, though. Respect it.
Yeah, but it's the kind of thing where it's it's out there, right. And it's if that means that you wash your hands a few more extra times, or you
wear a mask, or
wear a mask when you go out or something, or you stay at home where you might not have, it's that might make a huge fucking difference
on the average when you're dealing with fucking millions of people.
Right, because it's if you're just one person and you have it and you go out somewhere where there's hundreds of people, you could potentially spread that. I mean, it's very easy that it could happen.
Yeah, and if you do catch it, chances are you'll survive it. But also, chances are you'll spread it to four other
that you'll give it to somebody else, and some of those people might die.
On average, at least in China, 4 other people.
Yeah.
I think probably in a place like the United States, on average, it'd probably be at least half that.
Yeah.
Because of the congestion.
In some ways, it's you have to adopt a measure of, where you're feeling it sucks for you to get sick. You don't want to get sick, but also try not to spread it to others. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you're sick, please stay home. It's like...
And if you have, and here, now that everybody knows what this is, and we're living in the modern world, you might have hundreds of thousands of fucking Americans here, or Australians, or New Zealanders, that have it, but every one of them knows that they shouldn't spread it.
Yeah.
And in prior ages, they didn't even have that concept of
they're just like, I'm just going to breathe on everybody.
So
I don't
it's
care.
not going to take hold, I don't think.
That's why I don't worry about stuff as much now, because
China's going to get the worst of it.
They are. And I always kind of feel like, because I know about because I know about Spanish flu, because I know about Black Death, because I know about that kind of stuff, and it's like, coming from a point of view of not knowing what was causing it and not knowing what was spreading it, it's like, now that we know that, it's like, yeah, everybody might not do it.
Right. You all right? See, she got that shit already. We've both been coughing.
I have. Well, I think that just went down the wrong way.
Okay.
But, coming from a point of view, at least we know that you have to, like, wash your hands. You have to, like, not try to...
Don't touch your eyes.
Like, don't touch your eye. Don't touch, like, doorknobs and shit like that, or, you know what I mean?
You kind of want to avoid highly congested areas for a little while.
Yeah.
But at your own discretion, like I said, just because you catch this, it's not really here in the U.S. right now to speak of, but just because you catch this doesn't mean you'll die from it.
Most people won't.
You're right.
That's what I mean. It's like, that's why I'm not super worried about it, because it's like, yes, it's a flu. It's like, I am just inclined to treat it like any other flu, where it's kind of like, it sucks to get it, but you're probably not going to die from it. Just try to not give it to other people.
Right.
And, try to just stay in your house and don't, you know what I mean? Because like I said,
the main danger is not from the disease itself, it's the effects of the disease on the society.
Yeah, and like I said, I feel like that kind of happened. It wasn't that, I mean, the Spanish flu, considering how many people it killed, the social impact of it was bad, but it was far less than the Black Death, say, which kind of caused a whole, like, seismic fucking change in the whole social structure.
And I'm going to say America as a whole understands the impact of this, and you got guys that work in the power company and the water company and people that drive trucks. I don't think they're just going to bug out that easily. I think they're just going to go to work with masks on and keep the shit going, because they know that if they don't go to work as a group, they could collapse a damn society. So I kind of think what'll probably happen is that once it starts up in the United States, people will just hold together and they'll just fucking power through it. They'll just buy little masks and fucking, try to avoid from getting sick. That's what
I said. That's why I'm not super worried about it. It's like
they're psychologically prepared.
And as much as, people like to piss and moan about how self-centered people are, I do feel like people nowadays are more aware of how their actions impact others, which maybe they weren't back in the old days.
And in the old days, the panic set in.
Yeah.
And panicking is like the worst thing that can happen.
That's always bad.
And I'm not saying... If you ask me, China's panicking. At least parts of China is panicking.
But in some ways, like... If it's bad, a little bit of panic is justified, because it's like, if that means like a whole bunch of people in this city have it and we need to like close that city and like not let people go in or leave, then okay, then that's justified. But everyone doesn't need to freak out about shit, because that never leads to anything good.
So how did the Spanish flu end?
The weird thing about it is no one really knows. It's like so many people died from it. Like I said, there was like it went through the U.S. I think the U.S., I've seen estimates everywhere from 550,000 to like 750,000 people. Like, it killed a lot more people in Europe and stuff like that. But some cities, Philadelphia, Boston, stuff like that, were kind of closed down for a little while. And, there was kind of like a big thing about it. It mostly spread a lot on military bases, and then it kind of like spread to other, to civilian populations. And as I said, it killed at least as many as the Black Death, if not more. And you have to think that the population of the world in 1918 was only about 28% of what it is now. So something like this happening nowadays would mean that like 375, 500 million people dead. Yeah. So that's what the equivalent would be. So, it fucked shit up for a while, but not as long as the Black Death did. Because like I said, nowadays, even in 1918, they knew what was causing it. They knew how to prevent it. They knew. So.
And a few years later, World War II is hitting, and they were kicking ass like nothing ever happened to them.
Right. So like
quickly.
I said, even though it was like, a shitty thing that happened, a lot of people died from it. Like I said, it killed a lot more people than died in the actual war. I've read some estimates where it killed more people than World War I and World War II combined. And maybe even Vietnam and some other wars in there too. Like it killed like millions and millions of people. So it's nothing to sneeze at, Yeah. But it just seems like the impact, the far-reaching impact of it wasn't quite as drastic as maybe something that happened in the Middle Ages. And like I said, I feel like as we go on and we get more, scientifically, like we know what these viruses are, where they come from, what causes them, even if we don't have a cure for them, because like I said, we're still going through, technically we're still going through an AIDS pandemic, even though you don't see a lot of it in the United States anymore because a lot of it's been managed, like, through drugs and things like that. So a lot of people don't die from it in the United States anymore. But you still see, like, in sub-Saharan Africa, there's, like, still a lot of people, like, millions of people still dying from it. But it's like you don't really see the same impact just because we have that understanding. Yeah. And at least, we were watching the Netflix series. There's a Netflix series called Pandemics, and I've only seen, like, the first couple of episodes.
Kind of slow and boring.
Well, it's, it's pretty good, but I have to say that there are some people out there. There's one guy in particular who, him and his, like, his assistant or whatever, they're kind of, like, trying to, and they've tried to get money from, like, Bill Gates Foundation and everything like that, where they're trying to develop a universal flu vaccine because they're kind of, like, looking forward to a time when, it's like we need to immunize everyone against any flu vaccine that can mutate or come along or anything like that. And they're doing it on their own dime. Yeah. And they're doing it in the sense that we don't want to do this for money. We just want everyone to have this just so we don't have a fucking global pandemic. So like I said, there are some people out there working on this.
Yeah.
Some superheroes don't wear capes, as they say. And I kind of feel like we will get to that point where shit's gonna happen, people are gonna die, but like I said, I don't know if you're gonna see something like the Black Death or even the Spanish flu in 1918. Okay. I don't know if we're gonna see that again.
So what can you do about this? This is my advice. Consider this to be something about like a hurricane or Hurricane Katrina. We got hurricanes here every year. We got a hurricane season. All right.
Yep.
So I'm going to consider it just like a hurricane, but a
June
biological
1st to November
version.
30th.
Right. What you do is over the next couple weeks, throw back some extra food, something that's shelf stable.
Just
rice,
canned food,
beans, canned food, whatever. Okay. Also throw back some fresh water. Maybe buy a couple, a bunch of cases of damn little fucking waters. Maybe one of those big old jugs of water that you get from like in a water machine at the office, something like that. Just some fresh water. And then get you some fucking extra toilet paper. Okay.
We were talking about this.
If the shelves go dry,
it's like, what would be a shitty thing to run out of?
Run out of damn toilet paper. Okay. After you get, actually, you know what else would be good is to have some kind of way to filter water. That way, if you ever lost water because the water department guys didn't work out, it's a hurricane type situation, you can collect rainwater in your area or whatever, dirty water, and you can filter it. There's a bunch of different water
Also,
filters.
get a grill and some propane.
Yeah, but some people might be living find some way to cook if power goes
Like
out.
I said, you need a way. You at least need a way to boil water if you don't have any power.
Right.
I've been through many. I'm from Florida. I was
Right.
born here, so it's like every year
We're used to this shit.
they give us this hurricane
Yeah.
spiel.
If you could find
the
a little
same.
propane burner for camping,
That works too.
That would work. If you have a big propane bottle to run that fucking little burner, even better. So that's your food and water, and your toilet paper. Okay.
Yeah, toilet paper. It's very important.
The next thing on top of that would be maybe some kind of mask, gloves, and goggles. That's in case you ever have to go out. All right. But I don't really think that's all that important, really. But that would be a good thing to have, and you can research. We have a subscriber named Weapons and Stuff. And that's a channel on YouTube, and he gets all into that with masks. What kind of masks you can buy? Gloves, any kind of glove, and maybe some goggles. And sometimes the mask and the goggles is one thing. That way, if you go out to go resupply or to buy stuff, you don't get infected. The Japanese been doing it forever. Okay, with a little mask, and so the Chinese. If you live in an area where you think fucking it might go bad, you might want to invest in some means of defending that food. Because if you looked at what happened in Hurricane Katrina, people who are unprepared, don't have any food, they'll only go about 3 days without food and water before they'll attack somebody else to get their food and water. Because you're starving. 9 meals. You miss 9 meals, you become dangerous. Especially if you got kids or a family to feed. So you might want some way of defending that. And I don't know what country you're in. If you're in the UK, you can't even own that goddamn butter knife. Guns and clubs. If you can't have a gun, get a club. That would be what I would say. Stay indoors, lay low. That's all worst case scenario shit, though.
That's what I mean.
That's
I'm not
worst case
really
scenario
worried
shit.
about that yet.
No.
It's like I said, if I had been to China or had been to I don't know. I said, I'm not worried about it right now. It's like I'm still going out and doing shit. It's like, we have enough food here. We have a generator.
Worst case scenario, 90 days. Even 60 days would be a worst case scenario. Real common, a couple weeks. A month.
Yeah.
But it's always good to have 90 days worth of shit.
Well,
You're
for any
gonna
reason.
eat it anyway.
For any reason.
You can eat it anyway later
That's
on.
what I mean. It's not like it's going to waste.
It's not going to waste, no.
Because we kind of always have that shit anyway because of hurricanes. Because we've had hurricanes hit and we had power out for
I got a good generator.
a couple of
got
days.
A good Honda generator.
Yeah, so we have a generator and stuff. So it's not like that weird.
Extra window units to keep the air conditioner going because you know how white folks aren't going to get hot. That's just not how it is, man.
Yeah, I'm not having it.
Not here, man. Not in this heat and humidity. Fuck no. Florida, bro. This is Dagobah. If you ever watch Star, this is
people visit
Dagobah.
Florida and they love it, but it's like,
yeah.
have you ever lived here?
Yeah.
It's really not fun.
It gets old.
It really does.
That heat and humidity
Very,
gets
very quickly.
old.
And I was born here. I was born in Daytona Beach, and it's like I still hate it.
Modern houses and modern buildings here in the United States are not built to be without air conditioning. 2 days later, they all just fucking smell like mold.
Everything just stinks.
Just starts to stink. The carpets just start fucking. As soon as that temperature goes above fucking 85, 80, and the humidity here is always 100%.
Pretty much.
It's just everything starts to rot into mold. They're just meant to be kept at about 71 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah.
Just presume if you're going to move to Florida, everything is like a huge open air sauna.
Yeah.
Almost the entire year.
Yeah.
Like in the winter, you get like maybe a month or two of reprieve.
Yeah.
But the rest of the year, it feels like you're in a sauna, except you can't leave.
Yeah. So as a quick wrap up, food, water filtration, some kind of means to cook things, a means to defend that, mask, goggles. That's really all
You'll be
gonna
fine,
need. You'll be all
seriously.
right.
It's like
That's the bare minimum.
Like I said, I'm not worried about this because, like I said, we had fucking SARS that happened like 10 years ago, and everyone was freaking out about that. And it's like,
I'm just treating it like it's a hurricane.
yeah, which is probably like the healthiest way to look at it because you don't know if a hurricane's gonna like we've had hurricanes hit. Yeah. I've had hurricanes
lose
hit
power. She's lost power for months.
I've lived here longer than you have.
How was the longest you've lost power?
8 days. It was 8 days.
8 days? Okay, I thought it said it was a month.
Which, it sucked, but...
Fuck.
I lived.
8 days without power here, man.
It was in August.
You're going back to fucking Dagobah.
It was in August.
You and Yoda.
Oh.
Yeah.
I try not to think about it. It's just like...
Hot.
Yeah, I was just like sweaty.
Hot, muggy, stinky.
All the time.
You can't fucking sleep here.
No.
Without AC.
Well, when our AC was out, we had to fill the bathtub with ice.
Yeah, and
lay in the tub and then get cool and then sleep in like shifts.
Yeah.
Because it's too...
You can't sweat because the humidity's 100%. So
that's what I mean. It's like
yourself. Humans
have evolved like the sweating thing.
Yeah.
But the sweating thing doesn't work when the humidity is... Your sweat can't evaporate.
No.
It just sits there. It just sits there.
Feels like you're wrapped in a damn plastic bag and then a big old fucking hot, wet carpet wrapped around you.
Like all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
So this is why I know people
and being outside is better than being inside, but you go outside and the fucking mosquitoes eat you up.
That too.
So you can't go outside.
And then you'll get encephalitis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Florida, it's special, you guys.
Yeah.
It's
actually a paradise when everything's working. It's just that Florida's not supposed to be here. It was forced into here. It was forced into
Florida is like a swamp that we decided that we were gonna...
We colonized this bit.
So we like built stuff on it, but we have to build stuff. But if you go outside for any length of time, you will realize that this is not for
planet.
It's not for human habitation. No.
It's for alligators.
It's not for us. We're not supposed to be here.
I barely even like riding my motorcycle anymore now. I go out and I go.
That's what I mean. And
it's just
I still try to do like my power walks and stuff like that. But it's like in the summer, I have to go very, very early in the morning, and even then, it's it's
nasty.
It's kind of nasty. And then I'll come back, and it's like even the wintertime, I come back and I'm just like, you have like all fucking swamp ass and shit.
Just think old Ponce de Leon was over here trudging around here back in the 1500s looking for the damn Fountain of Youth.
I can't imagine.
Fucking idiot.
Like fucking. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. It's like every time I read about like Florida history and stuff, and like all the fucking Spanish conquistadors that came here, it's like, why would they come here? You would think they would come here and be like, "Fuck this shit."
Yeah,
They'd be like, out of here.
Especially back in those days.
Fucking hell. Yeah. And especially, and this is just Central Florida. Like South Florida is like 100 times worse.
I thought this shit was so funny when, what was his name? Carl Benjamin, that guy from fucking his channel's was it Sargon of Akkad? He fucking went to Disney World up the road here, and he fucking stepped outside of his damn fucking hotel room on the balcony, and he was, I can't believe it. This is like Satan's ass crack out here.
And I was like, welcome to my world, motherfucker. I was
I
born
can't
here.
believe this. And he's like,
I can't either.
And then he pans out over the fucking swamp. That Disney World is in a fucking swamp.
It was a swamp.
It was a fucking swamp.
They
in
only
the middle
built.
of fucking
They
swamp.
built Disney World opened, y'all, in 1972, the same year I was born. But prior to that, Orlando was a swamp area.
Yeah.
Like the Everglades.
Yeah.
So they basically purposely, we're going to build this shit here
On
because the land was cheap.
It was worthless, yeah.
And it was worthless for a reason. And then they just like had to. So they had to like build everything like on top of the shit. But like humans were not supposed to live
and now
here,
there's luxury hotels with the international clientele in the middle of a fucking swamp. It's fucking hilarious when you think about it. It is beautiful though. Florida.
It's a beautiful.
It's just fucking.
It's
hot.
beautiful to look at from
photographs.
From a window.
Yeah.
From within,
inside
it is air conditioned.
Yeah.
Because if you go outside, you'd be like, no, thank
You're
you.
like, whoa.
Although I will note that I have known people from the UK that came here on vacation
And for some, they love that
and
shit.
fucking
They're fucking
they
insane.
loved how hot it was.
It's because they
And I was like, you are high.
It's because they only put up with it for a few days.
Yeah, they're
and
only
they
here
go-
for a week or two.
But you know what I mean. It wears.
If you have to live
on.
here your whole
Yeah.
life, it's really not. I mean, the entire summer, like I said, I was born in Central Florida.
Yeah.
So the summertime was kind of like you would go into the house and you would just sleep by the air conditioner wherever it was in your house, because I grew up in a house that didn't have central air. It just had like a window unit.
I can't understand it.
So yeah,
How'd you survive that shit?
I slept in the dining room.
Yeah.
That's
It's hotter than Mississippi here.
Yeah.
Even.
I just
And
slept in the
fucking-
dining room. I put out like my grandmother, because I stayed at my grandmother's house, she would put like a quilt, like a pallet
Yeah.
in the little living room that was right by the dining room where the air conditioning unit was. And everyone would just sleep in there.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't sleep in the bedrooms
Yeah, and it's no joke.
in the summer.
We lost AC in
You
here.
couldn't.
I couldn't fucking sleep. I had to get out of the bed and go on the floor. Remember that?
Yeah.
Had to
You
go on-
can't.
you
It's
just can't fucking
you
sleep.
can't sleep. Because it's just kind of, it's not only hot, it's just,
It's the humidity and the
yeah,
smell.
it's just like, it's a smell, and it's like
Yeah.
the wetness is just like pushing into
Yeah.
your face. Also roaches.
Yeah, everything smells rotten, and all of a sudden everything smells like fucking Dagobah, and the inside smells worse than the outside. Just
Yeah.
bacteria just fucking eat up everything instantly.
It's bad. Well, and even if you have air conditioning, you constantly have to be on the lookout for mold in your house.
Yeah.
Also termites.
Yeah.
Termites will eat your fucking
We're
house
boring
up.
them. Let's wrap this fucking show up.
All right, so
I gave you the advice. Don't underestimate it.
don't breathe on people.
But do prepare. I would recommend to prepare for at least just basic preparations.
Well, at
no
least
matter where you
like
are.
you would do
Food,
for
water,
any
water filtration,
kind of shit. Like,
toilet
don't
paper.
freak out about it or anything
In
like
the army,
that.
we called it shit paper. Get some shit paper.
Get
Because
the shit.
imagine if you couldn't wipe your ass because you couldn't buy any more toilet paper. Just in case, get you some.
It really does seem like something that people in the West don't really think about,
take that
because
shit
you
for
always
granted.
have toilet paper.
Yeah.
But then when you don't have it,
You
you're
think
just
about
kind
that
of
and you go like, boy, world would go upside
man,
down.
now
if you
what
couldn't
am
wipe.
now what am I gonna do?
World would go upside down if you could.
Now you have to
not.
wipe your butt with your hand
Yeah,
and
what the
then
hell
wash
are
your
you
hand
doing?
really
Yeah.
good. And then all the rest of the day, every time you touch something with that hand,
like
you're going to
spreading
be
that shit
thinking
around
about,
everywhere.
I just wiped my ass with that, even though
Yeah.
I washed it.
And then think if you lost power and water and toilet paper, you'd be fucked.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was out of when we had we had 4 hurricanes in quick succession several years ago, and our power was out for quite a long time. And all I remember it being very hot. I remember eating a lot of Pop-Tarts because that was pretty much all I had.
Yeah.
Like, I ate cold Pop-Tarts. But I guess we had enough toilet paper because I don't remember running out of toilet paper.
I'm going to kick back like 2 extra cases of toilet paper at all times.
Yeah, we need to go to Sam's
To have,
tomorrow.
like,
We're going to go to
we have
Sam's
a big
tomorrow
case,
and
case,
get
2
like the
extra.
big fucking things of
That
stuff.
way you'd have like 2 months of toilet paper always at all times.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm probably more worried about toilet paper than food.
No.
I can live without food.
I like to have protein, bro. We'll wrap this shit up, bro. wrap it up.
I'm your bro now?
Yeah, bro. That's it, bro. I've been drinking.
We're drunker than usual, I feel like. Well, we're drunker than usual, I feel like.
Yeah, we are.
Kind of.
course.
That's okay. It's Saturday.
be
It's
all right.
Saturday
Saturday.
night. That's just by way
Got
of
the show done
explanation.
early, though. It's probably 9 o'clock.
No, it's 10:12.
No, really?
It is, yeah.
Fuck.
Look, there's the clock right there.
Shit.
Right
I can't
there.
see that on my glasses.
Oh, okay. All right. So this was our show, kind of vaguely about pandemics.
No, it was about bad days. It wasn't vague.
It
was
kind
about,
of was.
Yeah.
So, be careful out there. You know, I'm not worried about it. He's worried about it.
Yeah, if you like the show, man, subscribe.
Like,
And
share, subscribe.
Like it, too. Like it. Give us some likes. And subscribe and hit us up on Patreon. We could always use that cash.
man. If you
more
want
money we have, the more shows we have. And Jenny can do all the research, and we can continue on. It's going to be all good, and then she can have a present. I don't get any of this money. It's all Jenny.
Well, because I'm the one doing all
She's
the
the
work.
one doing all
That's
the
why.
work.
You're the one just laying there going, "What's this show about?"
I just drink. What's the show about? Oh yeah, I know about that one. Yeah.
I was like, I told you it's about pandemics. Oh yeah, I kind of know about
Well,
that.
this show,
5 minutes before the recording
just
starts.
on pure wisdom, man.
That's what I mean.
Just
This
on
is
pure
all.
wisdom.
This is all real. This
It's
is none
fucking
of this
real
is.
shit. It's wisdom, man.
He
Just
seriously doesn't even know the topic before like 5 or 10.
Stop it! No, I do know this topic sometimes.
Sometimes
I even study for the topic.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Depends on how meticulous the topic is.
Yeah.
My job is to be the fucking audience. To
Yeah.
listen and you know what I mean? To fuck shit up. My job is to fuck shit up. My job was always to fuck shit up. That's why they hired me. I made a whole career of fucking shit up and breaking shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what we did. I come from a long line of motherfuckers.
My job is to like do all the like figure out all the topics.
You're an intellectual, man.
And research all the
topics.
topics.
You're an intellectual.
And then try to bring him back to the topic when he goes wildly off.
It's a Spock-Kirk dynamic.
It is, yeah. You love me.
I love you too, baby.
Just like Spock and Kirk love each other.
You think there was some gay love going on? Gay trans.
Even if it wasn't, I don't know.
Been. You're saying it.
It
should have been.
I'm shipping that.
Okay.
I'm shipping that.
I fucking love old Star Trek.
I do too.
It's so much better than the other
Spock
Star
is my favorite. Well,
Yeah.
Spock is like probably one of my favorite fictional characters ever.
Spock was
So
cool.
it's like when people, because you know my ex-husband used to call me Spock too, but it's like he meant it as an insult.
Yeah. Well,
But I was not insulted.
All of those characters from the original series were cool. I liked them all.
Bones was rad too.
Yeah, they were all cool.
I liked him because he was so cranky. Because I'm kind of cranky.
And once Next Generation started rolling, you know, right by around the third season, I got into that. But I was also a big fan of fucking Enterprise.
You liked Enterprise.
A lot of people didn't like Enterprise. I'm going to fucking slap you in the face with my dick. Enterprise. Enterprise was one of the best of all Star Treks. It's very underrated. With Archer. The first season wasn't all that great.
It took a while to find its footing, I will say that.
I'll tell you what, man. It had two of the best mirror episodes of all fucking times. Where they go back and they steal the Thalian.
True.
Yeah, had one. They went back to get the Thalians, and it fucking tied in with the loss of the Defiant from fucking the original series.
I did like that one, yeah.
And okay, if you guys ever want to know what fucking a Ranger style unit is or a hardcore infantry, just watch. What was it called? In a Mirror Darkly 1 and 2. That's the way the army is. It's a good army. Good army is just like the Mirror episode. Motherfuckers were ruthless.
I did like.
They were ruthless, yeah.
We watched like the whole Enterprise. Like I'm more like a original series fan.
Yeah, I like it too. Yeah,
I have to say that's like my favorite.
I like the style and
like I like the other ones. I love Picard.
Star Trek continues with fucking.
Well, yeah.
Star Trek continues, which is a fan. We did a show on it.
We did, yeah. We did a review.
Vic Mignogna fucking and his team did a great job on the. What was it?
Well,
another season.
They captured the theme and the tone of the original Star Trek.
That is Star Trek, and he is one of the best Kirks. He's the second. There are two Kirks. Well, there's really only one Kirk, and that's fucking the Shat.
The Shat.
That's Kirk. But Vic's Kirk too. I'm just that's the only way I can. That's the only way. Yeah, that's the only way I can describe.
And I mean, I'm kind of like one of those people that it's like, oh man, don't try to like fucking. But you know that they did do it really.
And
good.
it's a free season right there on YouTube. Check out Star Trek Continues if you like the original.
If you like the original.
Yeah, and
I enjoyed it.
When I first heard about this, what the fuck is this? It's a fan.
It is, and like I know people are like, oh like, god, but no, it's so good. It's so
you
good.
See it and you go, oh no, this is Star Trek.
Seriously, the last episode, I cried, y'all.
Yeah,
I cried.
The dude who played Scotty is played by Scotty's son.
His son, yeah.
Fucking, it's got like an all-star cast. Fucking guests show up, like fucking Lou Ferrigno shows up in it.
Oh, that's right. I forgot he was in it.
Yeah, the girl from fucking Buck Rogers. What was her name?
Oh, yeah, Erin Gray.
Erin Gray shows up in it. That's right. And it's just to canon. It's like fucking canon.
They were
original
very
fucking Star Trek.
Well, the cool thing about that show was that they he took like the episodes that he liked the most, and he's like, I want to like continue this story, and that's what he did with each episode. He's kind of like, I want to like see what happened,
right?
Like after this episode and like expand on that, and I think that was like a really good idea.
Yeah, like the mirror episode with the evil Spock with the fucking evil goatee mustache.
Foxy.
He actually did a part 2, and it's fucking. Oh man, it's awesome.
I really
what
did
Spock
like that.
did after Kirk went back to the
liked
normal
that
dimension.
one. That was probably my favorite one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Because Spock is my favorite.
Yeah,
I love Spock.
And Todd Haberkorn plays Spock in that, and he's a good Spock. Leonard Nimoy is fucking almost near impossible to follow. He invented that character.
He's fucking Spock. Sorry.
So the first 10, 20 minutes, you're like, oh come on, man, this isn't Leonard Nimoy. But then you're like, no, but this dude's pretty cool too. And then like a couple episodes later, you go like, yeah, that's Spock. And then fucking like another episode there, you're like, yeah, that's fucking Spock.
Yeah, you
adopt
you get to roll with it.
But fucking Vic as fucking Captain Kirk, immediately you're like, that's fucking Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, that's Captain Kirk.
He really does embody that character.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's harder for me to get behind somebody that's Spock because Spock is my favorite. But and Leonard Nimoy is on.
Yeah. But Todd did a good job as Spock.
He did, yeah. He was really good. And that like says a lot for me to say that.
Yeah.
I'm not like a total Star Trek geek, but I really do like the original series.
We still got to finish the movies.
I
got all the fucking movies with the original. We got to do what was it? Movie 3. Search for Spock. We haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, we did.
No.
We watched that one. We just haven't watched the 4th one. We didn't watch
Is that right?
the one with the whales.
That's Search for Spock, isn't it?
No.
Okay, I gotta go back there and look at it back because you had that's right, Search for Spock. Then one of the whales.
That was the one with the planet, and like he was like a kid, and then like he
right.
fucking you know.
What's the name of the one with the whales?
Shit, I can't.
It's number
remember
4. Fucking Journey Home.
Something like that.
Something
Yeah.
Journey Home. Yeah.
Yeah, we watched the first. We watched the first 3.
Yeah, Journey Home's
but
good. I've seen them all, but
I have too. But it's like I don't remember.
Man, I gotta make a fucking model. I want to make one of those fucking Klingon battle cruisers and I'm gonna put the fiber optic cables to make the lights go on so it looks like something straight out of the goddamn movies. I can make a model. I can make models. I want to make a fucking Klingon model. Klingon fucking battle cruiser.
Okay.
Drunk as fuck. Making a fucking
I don't think you'd be able to do it as drunk.
No,
as you
not
are
drunk,
right now. But
yeah.
you could do it sober.
I want to do the one out of. I want to do the battle cruiser out of fucking Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Okay.
That one. Okay, wrap it up.
Did we say already that like you should like, share, subscribe? Also, check out our new Instagram, which is 13 o'clock podcast. That'd be me.
Yeah.
Also, what's your thing called? Just Tom Ross?
Yeah.
A bunch of numbers?
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but if you look for Thomas Ross.
Well, and also if you
she,
look on 13 o'clock podcast
I'll be on there.
And you go to like the things that I've been tagged in or whatever.
Yeah, I'll be on there.
Because he's posted a bunch of pictures of him and me that, you know, so you can kind of like retroactively get back to it. Yeah. So yeah, and if you would like to financially support the show, that would be much appreciated. Go to our Patreon page, patreon.com/13 o'clock podcast. Or if you go to our blog, 13o'clockpodcast.wordpress.com, there's a button in the sidebar to a PayPal account if you would like to give a one-time donation. Any donation, no matter how small, would be much appreciated and helps us make the show better. So, you know, if you want to do that, please do it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed episode 183, kind of about pandemics.
It's about pandemics? What do you mean, kind of?
Don't get sick.
Okay, don't get sick.
Wear a mask. Do all that shit. We will see you next time. Bye.